Greetings, flesh wound horror freaks, and welcome to our live Psycho franchise show. I am Flesh Wound Dan, joined by producer Todd.
Good evening.
Pugs Dread.
Namaste.
And Mike Kruger.
Welcome to primetime, bitch.
Yes, we're glad you're checking in with us. And Todd, thank you for that cool intro.
Yes, very cool. I thought we were all going to be like NWO black and white for a second.
If we would have taped it, I totally would have done it. We actually did that on Farce for our Clerks episode. So
yeah. I was going to say, well, I guess you can do it.
We can put a bonus one on Patreon if Edward wants to watch it black and white.
If you're interested, and you have to let us know who looks the coolest in black and white. I'd be curious.
But it's not going to improve the show, just like the other black and white trailer.
Oh, you know what? Never mind.
But I know we got to. I'm really excited to talk about one of my favorite series. Everyone knows I love Hitchcock, but yet. Well, we're going to get into all the sequels too.
Yeah, and this was the first time I had actually watched any of the sequels. I'd only seen the original Psycho. I mean, I've seen that about 50 times, but never ventured anywhere else. So excited to talk about everything.
I'm really excited. I'm really excited to hear your takes on them. And I'm really glad because I know last week before we had to move it, you weren't going to make it. Mm-hmm. So I'm really that extra week. See,
it worked.
You guys had to wait an extra week, but now you got all four of us. We're at full force.
There you go. Yeah, so you get a wide variety. I'm really curious everybody's story as far as discovering it, how you first discovered it, your earliest Psycho memories. Might not be the first film for some people. I know it was like 1998. I hear that a lot. That was their first.
I'm sorry, I wasn't sure. I should have reacted.
Don't tip your hat.
It's hard.
Believe it or not, I've known a lot of people that was their introduction.
I believe it. Not a lot of people, like in general, like black and white films. So they're like, I don't really want to watch that. Oh, he wasn't a big star at the time, but Vince Vaughn's here. Let's go check it out. I mean, he was a star, but you know what I mean. He's not what he is today.
He was still money, baby. We know.
And Haitian's butthole, but we'll get there.
Yeah, well, I'm sure
Dan's got like 3 pages on that alone, so we'll get to
this. They need to do a documentary on that. Like we had the shower scene and Haitian's butthole.
We could do the sequel to the shower documentary. Just
there you go. So yeah, we'll go into the different portrayals of Norman Bates. We're going to talk Bates Motel, both Bates Motels, and there's a lot to cover. So I think we'll get right into it, right, guys? Anything?
Yeah. Go grab my bags, Norman. Let's get this going.
Yeah, time to check in. God, these puns are going to annoy me. I'm doing it too.
Dude, I like dad jokes. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, look, we can see the background there.
All right.
So yes, all right. So the original, the one that started it all, Psycho.
The book?
Of course, the book, 1959, Robert Bloch, which is a very different book. I do encourage people, if you haven't read that, Norman looks
more like Dan.
Very different. Well, yeah, he's no beard, but bald.
Now he's going to change his description. He was going to call it like a slug.
He's bald. He has an interest in the occult in the book. That's one of the other differences.
Obsessed with pornography.
Less sympathetic. It's very the Robert Bloch, which came out in 59 too. It wasn't out very long.
They picked it up right away, and I know Hitchcock was having people buy up all the copies so they couldn't. So they couldn't read it ahead of time.
It is, though, actually, it did leak, though. Variety did leak the plot. There was another paper that leaked it as well. So it was actually kind of out there, but that was amazing what he did. The gimmicks as far as if you showed up late, you wouldn't be permitted into the theater,
which they should still enforce.
It actually changed the way we watch movies. Because
Yeah.
before that, you just walked in whenever, you walked out whatever. They didn't have times posted. It legitimately changed the way we watch film.
It absolutely did. I mean, there was so much going on in Psycho that was so unusual. I mean, we all know like the first shot of a toilet in an American movie. Paramount had no faith in Psycho. That's why Hitchcock self-financed. He didn't take his usual salary. He took the box office cut, which made him millions. He was a genius. And from, also having a woman having an affair on the run. We are talking spoilers today, guys. So if you haven't seen this, but killing off your lead. And also the fact that she was, the lead. I mean, that was common in the, the 30s and 40s to a degree, but that really wasn't that common at all by the time Psycho rolled around. Norman Bates not being your standard Hollywood murderer, being a sympathetic character, which again, very different from the Robert Bloch book, which is amazing. But this is just a true classic. I think this is going to be a love fest. Does anybody hate Psycho? I'm pretty sure.
I hope so. They're about to get kicked off.
I'd be shocked.
No, weigh in if you don't like it. Go for it.
No, but what I will say is my introduction to it was actually being at Universal Studios and passing the Bates Motel and fucking Norman coming out with the knife and trying to stab you. So once I rode that ride when I was a kid, I asked my parents, hey, can we watch it? And we did, and I was bored as shit. Just because I was a kid and I was expecting, I was expecting the scary dude like Michael and Jason and all the other guys I grew up with coming out and killing bitches. And, it was much more, a dramatic and psychological film. And that I always sat wrong with me until I got older. And then I finally it was like, all right, I need to rewatch this because I know it doesn't suck. It was my stupid little pea brain mind when I was a kid.
You need time to mature. That's all good.
No, and like my love has only grown for like almost probably every time I've watched it. I know there's something different or I find something else to fall in love with it about. And it really is, in my opinion, like the birth of slasher films. 100%. Even like, you go into a lot of like those early giallos, they're very inspired by Psycho as well. So it's really cool to, have a film like that. And like you already mentioned, it just breaking all those boundaries for the time period. I mean, really, really awesome and influential stuff just to go out of the box. I mean, Hitchcock, watching what was the doc that we were watching about the shower scene?
7852.
Yeah, just like all the stuff and the taboos that he just did not give a fuck about, and putting it out there and it becoming arguably his most successful film. I mean, it's awesome.
I don't even think there's an argument for that.
Yeah.
I mean,
he knew he needed to make a change in his career. I mean, even coming off North by Northwest, which of course is a great film, he was 1955's Les Diabliques from Clouseau, and everybody like he's the French Hitchcock. Hitchcock didn't like it.
No,
and
fucking hold my tea.
he wanted to knock Clouseau off this perch. I will actually say, not really. I mean, it brought slashers into the mainstream, but actually, Peeping Tom beat it to theaters. I always throw that out there. Not like same, year, but beat it.
Yeah, but I think
it didn't have Hitchcock back in.
More.
Peeping Tom's fucking awesome though.
It is,
and it definitely is influential. I mean, the beginning of Halloween is like basically straight from fucking Peeping Tom.
Yeah.
But I think more people just know like Psycho, and I think Psycho as far as just being influential. I mean, we see him in like Friday the 13th, and just so many other slashers have been inspired by that killer.
Yeah, I know Pugs mentioned parallel thinking previously off air with those two films. It's no different than Blair Witch and Last Broadcast. People, even though one was first, it's the one of them.
What made a bigger splash?
Yeah,
definitely. You know, another thing that was unique about Psycho was a 6-minute trailer with just Hitchcock and no footage from the film. No footage from the film.
The way he described it, though, it's fucking. Oh, it's just dreadful, and all those words that he uses, and with his accent, it's fucking glorious. You're saying,
and it's got the red herring because you have Vera Miles in the shower instead of Janet Leigh.
Mm-hmm.
No, I love that era of Hitchcock trailers because at that point he was a TV personality.
He was, yeah,
and it just worked.
Also, you didn't need to sell the story for a Hitchcock movie.
Yeah.
Oh, he's there. I trust him. He's my dude. Let's go. I'm not blonde. I'm safe.
Oh man!
One of the differences from the books, though, like I think Gus Van Sant. We'll get there. Missed an opportunity. I know you want to do a shot for shot, but you could have cut the head off. Would have made a big fucking difference for me anyway. But we'll get there later.
Sure.
Yeah, I have a lot to say about that.
I was just going to throw a little bit of trivia.
Yeah.
Pugs, you know the car lot where she buys or where she trades in her car?
Mm-hmm.
That was on Lancashire Boulevard, right by Universal
Burbank
Studios. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a BMW place across from where it was now.
Oh, right on. I didn't know that the BMW now. It's been a while since I've been around there. Yeah.
Also, one thing I noticed, I don't think I've ever noticed it before, is it's a spoiler, but whatever. In the final, well, basically when Norman is Norma and the wig and everything pulls off,
Mother.
if you listen, Mother, well, he actually screams, "I am Norma Bates." It's in there if you listen.
At the end?
In that scene, you can hear it. It's quiet. It's like it's muffled. But
I've seen this fucking movie a goddamn 100 times. How do I not know that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but okay. Sorry, Dan. I know you had some more notes there.
Oh no, that's okay. Yeah. I think the Marion Crane character and just everything that he did with that
name change.
And
in the book, she just married
Mary. Yeah, Mary in the book, and also not the focus for as long. You know, the book is very different. If you've not got around to reading it, please do read Robert Bloch's Psycho. The follow-ups, the book sequels as well, were very
I've
different.
never done those.
You should. The second one is kind of like a parody almost of Hollywood, and again, very, very different. But yeah, Marion Crane was a real person, kind of more reflective of the changing times. I mean, this was shot in 1959, so you're still kind of in a transitional period, apple pie, post-war, rah-rah sort of time. But things were changing. Marion Crane was somebody that was, having an affair and, not your typical female character of the time. And Hitchcock just knew that it was, it was time to flip that switch and just completely reinvent yourself. Which he did. I mean, Psycho is one of those movies, like if we didn't have it, I don't know. I mean, by the end of the 60s, cinema changed drastically. Easy Rider, Rosemary's Baby, the entire face of cinema had changed that year. Yeah. And also shout out to Marley Renfro, Janet Leigh's body double in Psycho. Probably the most famous body double performance, which we have some other body doubles we'll talk about later. Brink Stevens, of course. But
I knew that was in your notes.
Yes. Marley Renfro, though, my God, that name is not very well known unless you deep dive into Psycho, but she was the body double for Janet
she's like
Leigh.
the Eileen Dietz from Exorcist to Psycho. Yeah.
Well, Dietz played a lot more than just the one.
Oh, she's Pazuzu in the voice, or some of it anyway.
The building where they're in, where they're having the affair in, is still there. It looks the same in downtown Phoenix. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
I've never gone downtown Phoenix. It's definitely not a good area to be in. So
you can see it fine from the freeway.
Not a good place to be if you're a white boy.
I was like, we got to drive by. Okay, there it is.
Next time I'm in Arizona, Kruger, you got to pass. What's up, y'all?
Well, the one good thing though is I lost that. It's probably best.
It's okay.
We haven't mentioned the Ed Gein fucking tie-in here, because that's where Robert Bloch got the idea from. He read it in a newspaper, and he cut out all the stuff he didn't like, and he added some new stuff. And we all know here, I'm a big Ed Gein fan, or enthusiast, whatever you want to fucking say. Fucking thank you, Ed Gein, again. Shame on you for doing what you did, but all right for the entertainment.
And we'll talk about the other adaptations of it later.
Shout out, Gein. There you go.
That's right. I honestly, I don't remember.
Down, I guess. I don't know.
I don't remember the first time I saw this, or when the first time I saw this movie was. It was probably around 1998, like to where I actually started caring about like movies like this. And I do remember going.
You just blast through them in order.
One more time?
When 98 came out, you just blast.
No, I'm fairly certain I've seen. I was Psycho 98, and then the rest. Like I'm not sure if I watched it in order or not, but I do know I saw the black and white Psycho first, and even as whatever age I was in 98, I'm like, this is pretty good, and it keeps getting better every time I put it on. You see different things.
3 times this year so far.
Anthony Perkins just knocks it out of the fucking park. He's amazing in this. Like, he's so reserved, and then when it's time to get a little aggressive, also that's Hitchcock directing the fucking shit out of him. He's amazing with the leans and facials, or facial expressions, I should say. Yeah, it's just fucking outstanding. I absolutely, I adore this movie. And I did not know the ending when I first saw it. Like, I remember like The Simpsons. I remember it being a parody and it clicking. Like, that's where these fuckers got this shit from. That's the shit. Okay, cool.
Just to throw out a little bit of trivia, I imagine you might know this one. What was the film that Hitchcock was being courted to direct around the time of Psycho? Oh, you got it.
7.
James Bond, yes.
Yeah.
The story I've always heard, and even recently, was he was being courted to be the villain.
I didn't hear he's going to be on screen, but that's
what.
Then
I've
they
always
fucked
heard.
up. Then they should. Well, no, I got Psycho. Good call.
Yeah, but Hitchcock has a 007 villain.
Which would be funny.
It kind of writes itself. Yeah.
Which is funny because who went on to become a villain? We have Donald Pleasance, Sam Loomis.
Yeah.
All there.
Christopher Lee, the almost Sam Loomis, that turned it down as well. Yeah.
My cousin's in one of them. Jaws. I'm related to that dude.
Fuck yeah.
Really?
That's awesome. I've met him at a Fangoria.
Yeah, he's a distant cousin.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
It is.
I think we've got another gimmick for you, Kruger.
Dude, and Happy Gilmore, man.
I always think Longest Yard. He's in that too.
That too.
Yeah.
Bob Evans
Steals the show in Happy Gilmore. We also haven't talked yet about the Bernard Herrmann score, which is
up there with Jaws, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I think arguably the most iconic score. It's funny, there's kids that maybe have never actually watched a Psycho movie that still know that'll like mimic it at Halloween
or the shower.
Yeah, I mean,
they know the more than the actual theme.
Yeah,
for sure. Who was it in the shower scene documentary that said like their kid has never seen Psycho, but they do that to them all the time? Like, I think it's just because like that's always been like a gag in cartoons and anything really. But I know I've seen it probably like 20, 30 times in various cartoons over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's, I mean, like you said, Jaws, maybe Exorcist, but there's not much that's even shoulder to shoulder with the Bernard Herrmann score.
What was the comparison Jaws did to the ocean? What Hitchcock did to the
showers? Yeah.
You can't step into a shower and not at least one time in your life go.
And Janet Leigh's still putting that over, saying she won't shower to this day.
Janet Leigh smells like, well, she definitely smells like, never mind. I'm not going there.
Disrespectful.
She takes baths there, Dan.
Yeah.
I stopped myself.
Just because you hate her daughter now is no reason to take it out on Janet.
I don't hate Jamie Lee Curtis.
Only when she's in Activia commercials.
No,
Activia, dude.
I'll watch.
One time,
I'll
dude,
binge them all over.
This is funny. I think I mention it every time I hear Activia, but one time at a Fangoria, Uncle Creepy, Jamie Lee Curtis was supposed to come out and speak, and she couldn't make it, or she didn't make it. And Uncle Creepy just goes, sorry, she's too busy taking a shit, so we're going to move on. So good. Slasher home video. Another fun fact. When I hear the Psycho theme, I think of Reanimator.
Richard Band ripped it off.
Yeah, like 1,000%. And for some reason, it never clicked. Maybe it's just because I recently
it takes you to a happy place.
Yeah, I recently rewatched Reanimator, but like when the beginning of Psycho started playing, I was like, these motherfuckers like totally ripped this shit off. Like that, the Reanimator theme, just the way it plays, it's like one of my favorite themes ever. And for some reason, after 50 fucking watches, I never noticed it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm glad they did. It works.
Oh, yeah, it works so well.
If you're gonna steal something, steal from the master, because it works. God damn.
It was an homage.
Yeah.
But you know what? He knew that. There's no one who wasn't going to recognize it. So it obviously was done on purpose.
Especially since it is the opening credits as well. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about Psycho too, like what other, like there's a lot of movie documentaries, but how many like documentaries that center around
not enough
a kill? You know,
not fucking enough.
I can someone should teach a class about this and I would happily go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. My God.
See, and that's the one thing I miss about the old Universal Studios. When you actually got to, do the movie stuff versus now where it's kind of just a tram tour. Mm-hmm. But like when you'd stop at the halfway point, you get to see the shower scene shot. Well, of course, not all 78-52, but just do it and all the little stuff. Like when I went to Florida,
forgot they did that. God damn, you're right.
Yeah, when did they start doing that?
They stopped.
Yeah.
Shit. When did they build that big stadium downstairs where they
Gibson?
No.
Where the Harry Potter is now?
No, where like they had the Stranger Things maze, like at the bottom, down the elevator over.
That was around the time of FIFA Goes West, so like 92, 93.
So it's been
so before I went. Yeah.
They had the Beetlejuice fucking dance off thing. I fucking loved. Scared the shit out of my mom.
But like the only thing I wanted to do, well, one of the only like three things I wanted to do when we were going to Florida, it was right when Universal was brand new, the Florida one, is because they had Alfred Hitchcock pavilion, whatever you want to call it, where you went in and like you saw all the different psychos or like about making his movies. I don't know if you did that, Dan, before it closed. But yeah. And that was like I was God. Yeah, I was a little film nerd, wanted to see Psycho.
Right?
There are so many attractions that I got to see when I was little that are gone now, and my God, it's
the great movie ride. That one sucks.
It's all 3D rides now, which are fine, but they are almost all the same.
Yeah,
they're almost all the same. It's not the experience.
As a movie nerd, I still want those little factoids and stuff.
Yeah,
like.
I've been itching to go back to the studio, and I will tell you this now.
Let's go.
The first time, because for a long time you weren't allowed to get close to the house, be at the house, all that stuff. So the first time like that I was able to, I don't remember, like you were there, weren't you when we all went to Universal with Jimmy and
I went the second time. No, I didn't.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
Yes, and I was like, it was like a mark out moment because I got
happy birthday, Jimmy.
I got to touch the house, so that was like a big deal for me.
Nice. Yeah. Well, we've all been on the steps to take the group photo, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, that was the first time I ever got to be there and touch the house. And
I forgot what movie Jim Carrey was filming, but fuck, I wish I could remember. But he dressed up as Norman Bates on the lot, and like he went and attacked the tram. I'm like, I would lose my fucking mind. And like no one knew it was Jim Carrey because they were too busy like screaming, like, oh my God, he's coming at me.
Oh, can you imagine if it was fucking Ezra Miller? That would be that motherfucker is just reaching for you.
Talk about I want the Ezra
no
Miller
bullshit,
Psycho
not a bad
reboot.
casting.
I would literally I wouldn't even play it up to I'd get a look-alike and he's like, Ezra's loose, and then he's like, dives through a window or something and just
all you gotta do is give him some shoulder pads and boom.
All I know is
throw kids out the window and shit.
I'm calling it now for anyone who goes to Knott's Berry Farm Halloween haunts.
No fights.
Well, there'll be some of those, but Yeah, oh yeah, they're hanging Ezra Miller this year in the hanging gimmick.
Oh.
I don't want to go just for that.
I know I told this way back, but when we were coming back from that Psycho house, I don't remember where we were going next, but we were walking away. And I'm a guy, I really admire all of the like details, the sets, the props, and the actors and everything. And I mistakenly that guy in the wheelchair that I thought was like a part of the show. I was starting to take a photo. He was a little
Oh, did I see this? I think I did. I was letting it happen.
Yeah, you didn't. You just kept going.
Does
at times.
He was a little fucked up, and the lighting and everything, and I was like, it caught me, like it hit me, and I just like fucking did a beeline. I don't think I said a word.
I should have committed.
All right, well, I'm going to say this now. The film's a masterpiece.
Yes.
Do we have anything else on the original before we move on?
This is the first time they've mentioned like transvestite on screen, right? That was like a big fucking
mention it, but
it was way. Yeah, they do, man. Yeah, they
mention at the end. Word, but
yes,
I mean,
they do. The psychologist at the end.
They do.
I've seen it. I don't know how many times, and there I go.
They do. They do. I'll just to close, and obviously we'll still be talking about him, but Anthony Perkins should have had a much larger career. I mean, he was marked by Norman Bates. He wasn't the romantic lead.
That's not why he was marked, Dan.
Pegged him to be.
There you go. Now you're getting closer.
Norman Bates was just a role he could never escape, but it is one of the all-time most iconic roles in cinema history. So
I'm glad he started to embrace it, because all these other guys that you get typecast, whatever. Fuck it, lean into it, get a career. Why not? You have a bunch of fans that love you. All right, make the best of it.
And if he's that in love with the character, don't let Mick Garris get in the way. But we'll get to that later. And I think in life in general, don't let Mick Garris get in the way. But
Mick, hating on Mick, our favorite. Yeah, that's fucked up, dude.
He's a good interview. I'll give him that.
Great.
He's got amazing hair.
me and him have beef for ripping off JD Horror's fucking podcast name. Fucking asshole.
All right. Anything else?
But yes, fucking masterpiece. No, I got nothing. Across the board.
We'll bring up more later as we go on.
Timeless, right? I think
for sure.
Still works today.
Yeah,
still
absolutely.
Well, that version is, but we'll get there.
There's another good one too later. But so let's see. This is the verdict. Okay, here we go. It's time. Kruger, first time viewing of Psycho 2.
Yeah, go for
it.
And
honestly, can you imagine how, I can't say that word, stupid the internet would be today if we all of a sudden got a Psycho 2?
Oh, dude. Yeah, like that. See, that's the thing about this movie. It's like pretty out there and like kind of pretty ambitious, I think. And I feel like if it was something that came out today, like people, it would have so much fucking hate. I was shocked so many people liked it, just because like it's just so weird, and like the ending is just kind of like it's really like a mind fuck for a second. You're going like, oh, what the fuck is actually? Oh, so that's actually what was happening, and like that realization, I could totally see people like shitting and destroying it on Twitter. So I agree with you, Todd, on that. But the movie itself, like I was shocked how good this was. I fucking loved it. I mean, it's just a really, really cool sequel, and to be following Norman around, and you're guessing in your head that is he killing people or is something else happening? Maybe there's a paranormal thing going on. Like it kind of teases a bunch of different things, and it all culminating to what we got in the ending. I just thought was fantastic. The kills are brutal.
I was gonna say you have to love it.
I was so shocked, because man, just some of the best kills I think I've seen in any slasher movie ever. I'll get into them when we go around the
it's funny though, because we'll get into that in the best kills. But it's like the movie that shouldn't have happened, that shouldn't have been good, but it's
so fucking good.
Is. And I can imagine, like I said this to Dan off air. I was like, I just know Kruger watching that second one for the first time and like getting what you get compared to the first one, that you must have been like, holy shit.
Well, yeah, well, because the first one is very tame. You know, again, being made in the '60s, you weren't having bloody, gory shit going on, but this is just night and day difference. I mean, we get brutal fucking stabbings, and yeah, man, this is just—it's so good. Meg Tilly too. I think that's her name. Jennifer Tilly's sister. Yep. She is fucking so goddamn sexy, and I was so happy to just be following around with her throughout the whole thing, and then it being revealed that her and her mom are fucking with Norman, and but then Norman's mom comes into the play at the end, or ends up being his aunt. Again, just talking about it, it's so fucking all over the place and out there, but it just works so fucking well. And I absolutely loved Psycho 2. It's one of the best sequels I've seen in a really, really long time. And I just think all the sequels, honestly, they're not really bad, other than that one thing that we're going to talk about later, but we'll go into that.
Have you seen some of Richard Franklin's other stuff? Because
Road Games. Check out Road Games.
Well, thanks, Dan. I wasn't in the middle of actually speaking, but I was going to say Road Games got him the job. I mean, that is. Yeah. I mean, that's a Hitchcockian film that made Brian De Palma jealous.
Well, he was a Hitchcock scholar. I mean, he was on the set of a couple Hitchcock movies and really learning from the master. This had a lot going for it. Well, first of all, talking what it had going against it. Even back then, we didn't have Twitter, obviously, or the internet, but there were a lot of articles, newspaper articles that were shitting on this when this was announced. Mm-hmm. This was not positively received when it was first announced. I mean, everybody was just kind of like, why? I mean, it's funny if you go back and actually read some of the articles from the 80s on this. I mean, it's an impossible undertaking, and not the last one, because I mean, we will talk about the remake, of course, but I think everybody was just like, why 23 years later? I mean, are we going to try and actually do this, because it would just be impossible.
Whatever they did it first, that's what all we're getting now.
Yeah, I mean, it had the right director. It had Vera Miles coming back, which was awesome. Meg Tilly, to me, of course we can't call her a final girl, but she is one of my favorite leads.
I'd argue that too. It's weird because you can say, technically Norman would be the final girl.
Yeah.
But I mean, for purposes of our later on, Meg Tilly is allowed because she is the final girl. If that's your favorite.
Well, also Norman's aunt was killing people too.
This is true. So
like, I don't think it's necessarily like just the answers out there that she even really killed anybody. I think. Is it? I don't know. I have a terrible memory, but like I feel definitely with having
there are certain things that it's kind of debatable whether they're outright ignored in the sequels, and in some cases it's just a little unclear. It doesn't quite have the same continuity of something like A Child's Play, where again, from the first movie to the TV series, it all ties in neatly, whether you like them or not. But yeah, and also the Tom Holland script. That man has created so much.
How old was he when he wrote it? Like in high school, right?
Yeah,
17, some ridiculously young fucking number.
Yeah, it hits all the right notes. It's different, but it still kind of maintains the spirit that made the original just so groundbreaking. It should not work, but I consider Psycho 2 one of the best sequels for any
franchise.
History. Yeah, it is a contender if we did like best, like for the first sequel especially. There are some logic issues in 2, leaving Norman just to his own devices in the murder house, and I think Robert Loggia just cites budget cuts, which I thought was
which it would be true with the way that the mental health system works, so it's not that far-fetched.
Yeah, maybe not.
At
I
least
guess
he had
could
somewhere to
argue
go. A
that.
lot of these guys just get dropped off.
Yeah,
like,
and,
good luck.
and honestly,
Yeah.
because he had property, they were like, "Fuck it."
Yeah. And before Perkins said yes to this one, it was going to possibly be a TV movie with Christopher Walken as Norman Bates.
I did not know that.
Shit,
Yeah.
I kind of do want to see that though.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't
version.
want to see it in place of this, but I would have been
No.
curious
But
what
a version of that,
Yeah.
fuck. That'd been badass.
Yeah.
Actually, my first time watching Psycho 2, I was like, oh, this is kind of lame, but I was a fucking child. And I watched it again years later. I was like, I was so dumb. This is so fucking good. Shocking.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
totally an early '80s slasher too, and that's what I fucking love about it.
Oh yeah.
Like it's a product of its time in that genre specifically, with its brutality and just a little bit of its hokiness.
Yeah. It's more slasher than a lot of slasher films of its
Yeah,
time.
100%.
But like we have to put over. I mean, Anthony Perkins. Without him, if we would have got Christopher Walken, this series would have fell apart.
Oh yeah,
I have no doubt. Like
I'm not 100% sure like you are, but I will concede that Anthony is the best. Go for it.
Yeah, well, we'll be ranking those for sure because it's hard to beat Anthony Perkins. And also,
sure
they're
it's
talking Dean Cundy in the chat, another legend attached to the series. Shot all of Carpenter's classics, and I mean, I think this was a film for its time, but it also did not lose what made the original so special, and that's very tricky. Because 23 years is a long time. I mean, 1959 when they shot it versus 1983, you're talking an entirely different world at that point. This really should not have worked. And every time I go back and watch it, it's just amazing to me. Todd, I'm assuming your favorite, Dennis Franz, is Toomey, the perverted manager of Bates, the temporary manager of Bates Motel.
Are you asking me if that's my favorite
in this film? I would.
Okay, well, I do love some Dennis Franz.
To him the most.
No, Anthony Perkins is my favorite in this film, but if we pull him out of the equation, I do fuck with some Dennis Franz.
He spares us his ass in this one, though.
I would have accepted that. That would have been okay. He walks in on him. Norman walks in on him. He's hitting one of the.
That's the shower scene. You just got fat ass Dennis Franz in there, and like Norman just.
I will say there is one thing that bothers me, and it always has, but because it gets retconned in 3, I can allow it.
What is it?
Well, the fact that Mother wasn't really Mother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But we get retconned right away in 3. So
I don't know if I like I mean, if you're gonna do it, I think stick with it.
I'm with Todd.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I don't think that's what I would write.
I mean, if that would have been the end, okay, whatever. But I think for they did the right decision on that.
I think it works for me just because she was like the one that was actually going around killing people. But I do get what you mean, and I think the retcon was a smart choice because it would make sense with somebody with mental issues like that.
Yeah.
And it's always good shovel.
That
sound is awesome.
We'll get there, trust me.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say, well, I'll wait till we're a little bit deeper before I compare it to other franchises. But far,
this cast, I mean, if you look at it, it's great. I mean, you got Perkins, Vera Miles, Meg Tilly, Robert Loggia, Dennis Franz. I mean,
it's heartbreaking that Tilly left the industry for so long. She came back and did Anti-Birth with Natasha Lyonne, which was really cool.
Yeah.
But Meg Tilly was fucking awesome.
They apparently Anthony and Meg hated each other, or they had like some type of feud.
There's a lot of people that say it was because Meg Tilly was a lot better than he was expecting, and it was like kind of like
he was getting upstaged.
I wouldn't mind. Remember the show Feud about Betty Davis and Joan Crawford? Yeah. Let's get a version of this going.
If we're doing that, we need to do Hitchcock versus Tippi Hedren. Come on.
Okay, season 1, season 2, and then Garrus versus fucking Perkins.
Fuck, I'm in on all of these.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love the scene when Toomey, Dennis Franz, is taunting him outside from the car. Hey, loony!
Oh, enough. Before I get sick, I've been eating fucking candy corn the whole goddamn time.
Damn, starting early.
Is it candy corn or aren't they nuts?
No, it's
candy corn?
It's 100% candy corn. When he gets nervous, Stan, he snacks on candy
Yeah,
corn.
he has the brown paper bag, and
Yeah,
I always thought it was nuts.
Always been candy corn.
Is this enhanced candy corn?
I wish. No, it is not.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'd be fucked.
Fuck.
I wish too. Yeah. I'd be gone.
Because that's. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say I'm gonna make some of that shit.
That's the reason I know candy corn isn't a seasonal candy. It's because of Psycho. Because he eats it all the time.
Yeah.
And now I've had enough candy corn till
I love candy corn, but after a little bit, it's like I can't just keep going with it.
Well, and that's why
I never did with candy corn. I was a nut.
And that's why I had to stop because that was too much candy corn.
You guys got the candy corn M&Ms? Some good shit.
I have. Yeah, and they also had a candy corn Hershey's bar that had little candy corn flavors in it.
I haven't had that.
It was a white chocolate one, so if you like white chocolate.
Oh, dude, yeah, I'm a white chocolate over everything guy.
I'm about to raise my right hand in agreement. Shit's good.
Sorry.
In 2 also, probably my favorite bit of setting aside the original, because the original is just so good, but as far as the sequels go, I think the best bit of acting that Perkins did was his toasted cheese sandwich speech. They took everything from me except those sandwiches. That was really, really good. Because again, you got this movie functions as just a fun golden era slasher film, but it doesn't sacrifice it. It's not just a dumb slasher film. It gives you everything you could possibly want, but you still have those powerful moments.
And this goes with your Halloween argument, because this doesn't just deliver the gore, it delivers a good story too, where that can be argued on the new trilogy. But I mean, it's that same thing. Like, there's nothing about this that should be as good as it is. Even if you took out all the gore, it's a pretty goddamn good film.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be a decent drama.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, if they did take it out, I mean, no one would have blinked, because that's the way Hitchcock's was. The fact that we went so hard on this is what makes it like it. Psycho changed film. I mean, it was a product of its era, but while it innovated, this one is just 100% staple of 1983.
Yeah,
even as timeless as it is, because you can set this movie whenever. I mean, it doesn't really feel like that, but it also, in the same way, you can tell it's 83. Like, I don't watch it and be like, oh, well, this is too dated, but it also has that feeling. It kind of like walks that balance.
Yeah.
Indie Pugs, you want to read that one for us?
Indie Phantom. Robert Loggia.
That was not the one I was
sorry.
trying to do. This was the one I was doing.
Robert Loggia.
Indie Phantom. Psycho 2 is one of the best examples of being scared by and also scared for the protagonist. Perkins' performance is just epic.
Yeah, he's always like he's always like on that thin line of, is he about to snap, or is he the one that's snapping, killing everybody? And I love that he's not, and that he's actually better, and these fucking two bitches are just fucking with him really bad.
Yeah. He's been a sympathetic character since the first Psycho, because you don't know what's going on, man. And then Psycho 2. I mean, and I go, it goes down to Perkins. Damn it, now I want candy corn.
Yeah, the trap speech from the original one. Like, you did feel for the guy, and especially later on as we go through all these movies.
All right. Well, should we move to 3, or do we have anything else on 2?
Let's catch a fucking ride with some slimy scumball and fucking let's go to 3.
All right, I'll go. I will go first on this one.
Okay.
This was I had seen Psycho because my grandma watched it, but I didn't really absorb it. I knew the shower scene, but then I saw the trailer for Psycho 3. I knew there was a 2, but at that point, 83, I was like, I didn't see it at that point. So when Psycho 3 came out, I wanted to see it. I saw it, and that's when I fell in love with the franchise. Went back and watched them all. I know it's weird for me to like have watched the movie and not seen the originals, but I was a child. It bothers me now. Say, that's not something I would do now.
That was out of your control, sir.
Yes. And I think I did go try to rent both of them before, and I know I got the first one, but I didn't see the second one till after the third one. So there's that. Now, can you guys guess that I love the third one?
No. Yeah, it's easy.
And not just because of that. This is the Friday the 13th 5 of the franchise. Super sleazy, super giallo-ish. Just everything about it I love. I know there's partially nostalgia, but with the movie that starts with the line Pug's already mentioned, how could I not be in love?
There is no God.
Only Schlack.
Which she actually was the one that had improv that. Perkins loved it. She wanted to kick it off with the bang, and I thought that was really cool.
And we should mention Anthony Perkins took over the director's chair on this one.
Yes.
That's why he said yes.
Yeah.
And he did a fucking fantastic job. I'm Todd, I'm with you here. It is sleazy fun. I will say though, I wasn't as thrilled with the gore as I was in the last one.
It is a step down.
It's a big step down.
True, but I was just so entertained and enthralled with what was going on. It didn't make that big of an impact. I really wish Norman and I forgot fucking Harry Chest's name. What's his fucking name?
Dwayne.
Sorry.
How do you forget Dwayne too? Man.
I was gonna say the dude from the sheriff from or Planet Terror. I forgot where I was going with it. I wish they were friends. Like I wanted them to get along because I liked him so fucking much.
You wanted, come back around. You wanted that Maniac Cop 2 shit going on.
Yes. Become buddies and let's get these girls. He can help you get these girls.
That's honest to God what I was really fucking hoping for.
Okay.
Yeah,
his walls are awesome.
Yeah. This
Dan's bedroom looks the same.
This one for me, it is a pretty big step down from Psycho 2. I think I kind of just spoiled myself watching Psycho 2 for the first time and then watching this. But I still like it. It's not one of my favorites, and I don't think it's like on par with Psycho 2 or the original. But there's things to like about it. I do like the sleaziness and some of the hokiness, like the whole scene where the cop is had like the body's in this ice chest and this cop is sucking on a piece of ice with blood all over it, and you're wondering, oh, is somebody going to notice or not? That's pretty cool. But I think partly a big thing was the gore, and then just the way everything ties in at the end. I was kind of hoping that guy was like a murderer or something, and he wasn't. Again, Maniac Cop 2, like if they would have went that route, I would have been all about this. But I still really like it. Just it's not something that like I would be super eager to go back and rewatch. If I was going to watch this would, or like all of them, or if I just wanted to throw on a couple of Psychos during an afternoon, I'd probably skip this one. But it's still good.
I'm gonna think this one's gonna grow on you, Kruger.
Yeah, maybe.
I do think because it has that Friday the 13th 5. Now the gore thing I think is going to be your biggest issue, but you have to remember it's not that they didn't want the gore there. The difference between 1983 and 1986, the MPAA was not having that shit anymore.
Trust me,
I know. So that's the one thing that sucks. If we would have got this shit, it would have had to been the following year, because really 85 is when they started being assholes.
Yeah, I just think that, and like just some of the decisions, like having Norman be the one that's killing again, and like I think that kind of rubbed me a little bit the wrong way too, because Norman really very much so didn't want to kill at all in Psycho 2, and then it makes sense that killing his mother would set him off again, but at the same time you can't be as sympathetic for him, and I love Norman's character in 2 so much.
I was though, because I was rooting for him to get the girl.
I'm just not as sympathetic, and like you are. I think there's kind of a question of if it's the girl too at some point, but I still like. I prefer Norman. Just he just kills his mom because she was killing, and he's trying to be a good guy still. But
it's this one. Obviously, there is a decrease in quality, but man, is it a fun movie? I mean, it's just so much fun, and it doesn't. This franchise doesn't decline in the same way that, for me, like a Nightmare on Elm Street or Halloween did. I mean, this is pretty damn good for a third film when you compare it to other like third in the series. Although Nightmare on Elm Street had a strong third film, but
you could argue Friday the 13th too.
Yeah, definitely. This is still a really fun movie with very memorable characters. Dwayne, Jeff Fahey. Duke, my God, you could have been coming instead of going.
Yeah. Hey Dan, why don't you hold lines off till we get to the line?
I'm sorry. But yeah, no, Dwayne, Jeff Fahey. Yeah, I'm sorry, Todd. I know. He's amazing. This movie's a lot of fun. There's a lot you can pick on. It is kind of maybe too much of a retelling of the first story, but man, you still have great moments with Anthony Perkins. I think there is somewhat the Diana Scarwood character, Maureen, I think they probably should have carried her over into 4 ideally, which one of my complaints about 4, which we'll get to here soon.
Norman could have became her, but
yeah, I mean, and that's a rough one for her too, because Meg Tilly was just so likable. But I think they had some really strong moments together, and yeah, it's a little bit more straightforward. This is probably like if I were, older back then. This is more what I would have expected it to be, to be.
And then it's also has the giallo feel. Also, which is another reason I do like this one a lot. It's that's what made me fall in love with 5 above all else.
I think this is even with the better movie than Friday 5, in my opinion.
I'm going to agree with you as much as I love Friday 5. But sorry, Kruger. I love Psycho. Psycho is here.
Todd, you're dead to me now.
It's still my favorite Friday the 13th, but I love Psycho 3.
If that's where you set like the bar, I don't know, man.
You're like, I thought I knew you.
That
just fucked up. That just fucked up this whole show for me, Todd.
This is a great popcorn slasher flick that still definitely has its great emotional moments with Norman. But man, Dwayne like borderline steals the show. I mean,
I'll take his prequel now.
Dwayne, yeah, we need A&E come through. Just Dwayne, get a younger version. I don't know exactly. Maybe we just retcon it. He didn't die somehow.
I'm so mad he didn't get some goddamn ass in this one.
Well, he did.
And he kicked that bitch out.
Yeah. Beats a vibrator, remember? He shouldn't have thrown the clothes. She should have just stood there and just like gotten really pissed. But yeah.
Gentlemen.
Why? I look at Jeff Fahey, and of course I
wasn't talking about Jeff Fahey getting the ass. I was talking about Norman, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jeff Fahey tapped it.
He almost, man.
Nah, I know. Norman didn't want that shit.
Yeah, he did.
Oh no, not the trashy one. I want Maureen. Yeah. That's what Todd's pulling for.
Really? Maureen. No.
Oh my gosh, you loved her.
Brink Stevens, shout out body double on the nude scene in this one. Another Scream Queen legend that was a part of this. Kat Shea, who, of course, very well-known director herself. Rage Carrie 2, which is what many people remember, and Strip to Kill, which is a favorite of Todd and I's. Yeah, like I said, 3. There's a lot that you can pick at, but it still ranks as one that I can watch almost any time and just have a blast. So it's doing something right. And once again, I think the supporting cast really carries it through and elevates it several notches. I don't know why Jeff Fahey wasn't a massive star. He's one I look at and I don't understand.
He's great in everything. But you see, that's the thing, though. He is a perfect character actor.
Oh, yeah, he can do anything.
No, that's what I'm saying. I see it, and he's...
Hey, I think he likes the craft more than the prestige and shit. He's in it to get his art out. I think.
Yeah. You know the part I did enjoy when Marion was laying in the bed with the door open, and the other girl comes in and tells her she better close the door. She's gonna basically get totted. These drunk guys running around.
Yeah,
you better shut your door.
I also
it was
did,
86. That would have been,
I also did like the whole thing with Norman saving the chick from killing herself too, and her seeing, him as Mother Mary or whatever. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Norman's just a good guy, man.
Yeah. And I think it's like, I like watching Norman's journey. But yeah, and I know I have the connection to this one being my first Psycho in a theater. One of my earlier horror theater movies, because I had to get someone to take me then. My first was that I know is Nightmare on Elm Street 2 and Dead Time Stories. But yeah, this was like I know. Mother's Hand. Okay, it's funny because I rewatched these the last time with my mom. Well, the time before last, because we'd watched the series, and she kept telling me, and I knew what it was from, but I just kept my mouth shut. She swore that the Mother's Hand bit was at the end of the original Psycho.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, no. And they would have finally happened in 3. She was like, I told you. I was like, you told me it was in part 1.
That's funny. My mom's a big Hitchcock fan too, and we watched all of these together. Yeah, just really cool fucking to see her perspective of things, because like she's one of those people that didn't like really like any of the sequels when they first came out, but now watching them, like, she really appreciated 2 especially. I don't think she really liked this one as much, but definitely
I'm never going to argue 3's the best film at all, because of course that's like, I can't even say it's the best sequel. I can't argue 2's not the best sequel.
Yeah,
but it may not be my favorite. We'll see.
Fair enough.
We'll see. I'm curious as we get into the rankings, but yeah. Well, we're gonna obviously circle back to a lot of this anyway.
Yeah, that's why.
Ranking portion. So I'm sure that won't be the last we hear of Psycho 3.
Yeah. Okay, now real quick, let's talk 1987 Bates Motel, the television.
Jesus Christ!
Technically, it was a television pilot.
And
we're gonna hear Dan just blow Lori Petty to death right now. So go ahead.
Lori Petty, I will blow away. Love my tank girl. This was not very good. Now again, you have to approach this as a pilot. Now, Friday the 13th, the TV series, and also shout out if you haven't listened to Todd and Kruger's Freddy's Nightmares series, go and listen to that. But more Friday the 13th did something totally different. This did something totally different. The difference is Friday the 13th, the series is amazing, and this is shit. This is like the whole fantasy island in the Bates Motel. Like, I mean, I could picture the show in my head, and Lori Petty's great, but this was
for the time period. It would have been like any MCA television series, which is exactly what it looked like. And I would have liked to see where they would have gone. Because I like dumb anthology TV. I like good anthology TV. I think because we basically got one story. We basically got the first episode, because we kind of have 2 stories kind of set up. Then that big, really what the episode would feel like. Again, I don't hate this one. I don't love it. And again, the very first time I went to Universal Studios, see, it all comes back to that. It was right. They had just finished filming it, and they had that big, ugly pink wall still around the motel. So first I was like, what the fuck
that
is
remodel, I fucking hate. It looks so fucking ugly. But I'm with you guys. Well, I'm with you guys. I don't think this is very good. But I was charmed watching it this time. I like, it's a familiar setting. I like Lori Petty. I don't know what's the main actor's name.
Bud Cort.
He was giving me a hard time. Like, you need to be in a screwball comedy, dude. You are not.
Oh, Bud
you don't fit here. No, but you know what I mean? Like, as a main character, I can see him as like Benchwarmers or something. In like
he was in MASH, the original movie.
He had a very good career. We have stars in this though: Jason Bateman, Greg Henry,
Getting some MILF action. Speaking of MILF,
Robert Picardo. I mean, there were a lot of great actors in this, and Lori Petty's great. Like, I can picture in my head what this series.
She's just playing Lori Petty, though.
I know.
She's charming and she's fantastic. She
Like a meatloaf sandwich.
Yeah, you can see Point Break. Tank Girl wasn't a hit, but you can kind of see why.
That's
she
good
went
Cult
on.
classic now.
Oh, I love Tank Girls so much.
Damn you,
Todd,
Todd.
how do you hate something so much that has George Buck Flower in one of his trademark homeless performances?
Well, there is a percentage of the movie that's good, and that are all George Buck Flowers.
Broken clocks right twice a day.
We need to do a George Flowers supercut, just all of his bum footage. Like 3 days long.
It's hard to really judge this
Yeah.
against the others because, again, this was just something completely different. It wouldn't have gone, I think, more than a season. This would have been a one and done. Looking at 87 and kind of what was out then, this was pretty much destined to fail. But, the whole Fantasy Island type theme, people going there to work their shit out. I don't know. Do you think it would have looked more like a horror series at some point? Or counting back? That's okay.
No. I think it would have been similar to Nightmare on Elm Street. Where we... Well, minus.
Well, I know, but would it be like? Would they try? Would you think this would have just been more? Because this is obviously.
Is this where we would have got the Duke's backstory? Damn.
Yeah. Oh, and of course,
the woman that broke his heart and turned into a piece of shit.
Anthony Perkins was so against this at the time, which is, of course, why he's not in it.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't want it to happen. He wanted nothing to do with it. He was so pissed.
Yeah,
because he just directed 3, a successful film for its time. I mean, it wasn't breaking the box office, but yeah,
he did. He did reference it, and he just said, "Yeah, I watched it on TV. It was horrible. Like, I'm not boycotting it. It was horrible."
Oh, I mean, that's basically my review of this piece of shit. I mean, I have plenty of other words I could say, but I can't say them on air. So I fucking hated this thing. It's a total just slog to get through. The soundtrack
might be a chore for you, Kruger.
The soundtrack alone just pisses me the fuck off. Like, it's just that late 80s, like, fucking almost Lifetime movie, like fucking drama bullshit. After
school movie style.
Yeah, after school movies is probably the best way to describe it. Like, but the soundtrack, it's just like, I hate it. Was like fucking scratching a chalkboard.
I think that's the difference, though. I mean, Dan, we grew up with TV this quality and stuff like this.
Yeah.
So it's not an immediate turnoff. I think when we watch something like this, like for you,
I mean,
it's all like
again,
PBS.
If you cover this as a psycho movie, yeah, it's a piece of shit compared to what came before. But it is that kind of goofy vibe. It's got that Scooby-Doo ending. Yeah, I mean, it's not good. It's not good, but
you're not going to sell me on it. I'm
not trying.
No. I'm just saying. No, but I'm saying that's a difference. It's a totally different style of television that you didn't like. You're not. It's completely different to you than what you grew up.
Yeah, but I've seen stuff from this time period too. I know what you're talking about, and this is just that, but dog shit. You know what I mean? It's not fucking good. And my biggest issue is just like you're trying to feel for this character that has this relationship with Norman Bates, and it's just, I don't know, it just rubbed me fucking really the wrong way. Also, the fact that Norman's fucking dead. You kill him off. You don't include anything having to do with any of the sequels or anything after. So like, it wasn't for me. It was just kind of
H2O.
like, well,
I'll say
the other one.
Shit, sorry.
The basic idea of it, of like just a guest coming into the hotel and that whole Fantasy Island theme, it could have worked as
it's not like I think the idea of somebody coming into the hotel and then fucking having something like something happen to them in each different room and you follow a new character every story, that's a decent formula, but the way it's done in this is just not very fucking. It's not good.
It also took a while to get there, right? Like you're getting impatient. Like, do something.
I mean, the first half hour of this is just fucking bullshit. I mean, it's you it serves a purpose to get you to where you need to go, but it's just a lot of filler and just a lot of this fucking guy moping around that Norman's fucking dead. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm fucking moping around too because I'm stuck with your stupid ass.
You know my favorite part watching
Takes the urn everywhere. Fucking pallbearer.
Watching this again, my favorite part is just the picturing Kruger watching it and having authority. And...
Dude, it's like I couldn't have done a watch along because I've said some things that are not allowed on there.
But Lori Petty, adorable.
No, Lori Petty doesn't do anything for me. She reminds me of my fucking aunt.
Oh, I remember you mentioning that the last time we brought up Lori Petty. Yeah.
I think she has a ton of charisma because this is bad, but at least she keeps you in it.
I don't have a problem with Lori Petty, just not a fan of Tank Girl. I'm not against rewatching it, but I don't think my opinion is going to change.
Ooh, Todd, nobody's forced you to watch something on Patreon.
You can't really force me to watch anything. I'll watch pretty much.
He just said he's willing to give it.
Yes, how's that going to force me?
You might see it a little differently. I get why.
I totally can. That was like 30 years ago. I haven't seen it since it came out.
Yeah.
It's funny, in my old party videotapes, you can see the poster on the wall. Technically, I got the poster before I saw the movie. So
I've got a poster signed by Lori and Malcolm. I need to get Rachel Talalay. But anyways, yeah.
Almost like in the Army now. The posters are very similar.
Yeah. This was not good. Again,
shouldn't have happened.
I would have been furious if I saw it like right when it came out. I obviously saw this a little bit later, and
I was furious. It's grown on me because it's bad. I can deal with it now, but yeah. I probably, with minus the vulgarity, was probably about the same Kruger was watching it this time.
I would have been curious to see how it would have evolved if the tone would have stayed quite this goofy. Would they've tried to gone a little bit darker with it?
I think it would have been the same tone, dude. After school special.
I think we would have got it because even if you look at Fantasy Island, we have those dark horror episodes.
Yeah, that's what I would have been curious, which we'll never see. But
I think definitely we would have got it around Halloween for sure. We would have got some.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, yeah, it's not good. It's not good, but
charming at times.
Yeah, but again, pilot, it's not a movie. It's a pilot.
Well, it was released as a TV movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was released as a TV movie. The fact that it was originally a TV pilot doesn't negate the fact it was released as a TV movie.
However, you can't see the fucking commercial cuts, like where it would have been. Because that first time when I forgot what Norman's what his name is, but he's just standing there in the street looking up and it just zooms out. I'm like, all right, cut to commercial.
It doesn't weigh down the other movies, I guess, is what I'm saying. I don't consider this like a sin.
No, because the other movies are way the fuck over there.
No, this. It's just like a black eye on the whole thing. I'd like to pretend like it doesn't exist.
I forgot. I grabbed my Psycho stuff. I actually have the UK VHS, which was like the only way to watch it for like ever.
I also saved it for last, and like probably good reason because I was happy about everything else. But fuck, like I should have watched this fucking first before I started watching any of it.
No, that would have set you in a bad mood, dude. Yeah. you did it right.
No, because I would have had Psycho right after. I would have been okay.
Yeah, that would have.
You would have been in a shitty mood watching Psycho, though. But all right. I think you did it right.
All right. Well, we'll move on to the next.
No, before we go, that fucking that shitty Halloween mask too at the end. Yeah. Oh my fucking god,
it's so bad.
It's like, come on.
Kruger's hate for it's making me enjoy it more. I'm sorry.
Scooby Doo.
Yeah, I like a dumb Scooby Doo. I'm the one who likes
that. That actually makes 100% sense. The Scooby Doo thing is right there with the fucking unmasking. So no wonder you like this shit.
Spoiler. Psycho 4. Okay, Daily Ghost mentioned this in the chat earlier, and both we have this in common. I was an HBO subscriber at the time. This movie was going to premiere on Showtime.
Yes.
I had to convince moms next month we're switching from HBO to Showtime. That was back in the day. You could have one or the other. I mean, you could have both, but I mean, I was only allowed to have one.
I did it for financial fucking reasons. Like, my parents would be like, "You can only have one, movie channel. So, which one do you want?"
Same. So it was a big deal. I made the switch. I did switch right back because Tales from the Crypt was probably about to come back on or something. But yeah, I was psyched. because we're ignoring the last one. We're going, technically another TV movie, a cable TV movie, from 1990. So yeah, I'll say my opinion.
I'd like to go first.
I was going to say, since you're not the first time on it, go for it.
I saw going in that this kind of had a lot of hate, so I was setting my expectations very fucking low, and I really enjoyed this quite a bit, actually. I think I enjoyed it a little bit more than I did actually Psycho 3, just because getting the backstory to Norman and him retelling those stories, and we get these shots of just how distraught and how much this telling these things are eating away at him from the trauma he suffered, and watching all the things he went through and the relationship with his mother, on how she was just such a piece of shit human being, but he loved her and he never wanted to talk bad about her, but he was honest. And it just, I don't know, it worked really well for me. And also, I'm with Norman. That bitch shouldn't have fucking got off her goddamn birth control and not told him. That's one of the most uncool fucking things you could do. I'd want to kill a motherfucker too. So I was with him on that as well. I mean, and his reasoning, it made sense. He didn't want to bring another monster in this world to take more fucking people away. And even the slightest chance of that happening, terrified him. And I the one thing I will say, though, I thought the ending was going to be him killing himself. And I thought that would have been actually really powerful if they would have went that route. And I was kind of hoping. And so it took away from a little bit. But, overall, I don't think it's fantastic. It's definitely, again, a big step down from 2, like 3 is for me. And they're, about on the same level, but I think I enjoyed this one just a little bit more, seeing everything told from Norman's perspective.
I think Henry Thomas has a killer performance as young Norman. Olivia Hussey. Thank you. Olivia Hussey as mother is great. Yes, it is.
I don't like it.
Well, see, I think
her accent is annoying,
but I was going to say she's great.
They go over the top. Yeah,
the accent. It's not even really that. It's also the age. Mm-hmm. The corpse decays too quickly if he's
not really, because she was dead 10 years.
But if he's preserving her, that's the thing. You could argue, well, he was still learning it at the time, but that's just those two things: the accent and the other. I think Olivia Hussey is a wonderful actress, and I do like her as mother, but it's the voice is the one thing that throws it up. I don't know if that means I like the script, but I like what the idea we're having.
Yeah, and it should be pointed out, this is the return of Joseph Stefano, the original screenwriter, and he was hired by Hitchcock because he had a strained relationship with his own mom. So kind of an interesting note. For me, there's a lot of issues with this one, but there's also a lot that I like. I'll be honest, this is one of those ones that when I saw it when I was a kid, I didn't really like it much at all my first watch. This is another one that I grew to kind of appreciate later. Now there are issues as far as, is this supposed to follow 2 and 3? Or is it a sequel to the original? There's some things in here that lead you both ways. They kind of reference some kills that kind of happened later, but it's also, again, how do you get out of jail in 4 years after 3? So that kind of, that's a real tough one, and get married and all that. So there's a lot of
the California justice system. I can believe it
today.
Look what they're doing to fucking Cain Velasquez right now.
Even back then, Dan.
But there's a lot of great bits with this. I think it would have helped if you had Maureen back, because we don't really get, Perkins is great, but we don't really get a reason to care about him and this particular wife. I almost wish
it's not about him, though.
No, I know that, but I'm saying they do have those moments together. I feel like I would have cared a little bit more if we had Maureen come back from 3 if she hadn't died.
And she was the wife? and had her as the wife.
Yeah, like somebody with some established, moments that ideally, again, Monday morning quarterbacking it, but technically there's no deaths in the current timeline. So, you could kind of argue, because again, this is a prequel and a sequel. That's one thing that I know a lot of people complain about this one. And I mean, the whole radio thing's kind of irrelevant to the finale. I mean, yeah, it's a device so we can jump back in time.
I really like that.
Yeah, I like
1990.
Yeah, but
1990.
CCH Pounder didn't factor in at all. It just kind of is dropped. It felt like something was missing in this one.
I think it's more to do with 1990, the shock jock and all that stuff. Where like that was really big. So using that as a device was probably. It
would be a podcast today.
Yeah, it's honestly just a framing device, so we can get those flashbacks.
Yeah,
I'd rather have that than Norman sitting in a chair reminiscing.
At times, I would have
unless he's just like Mother.
A little bit more with the wife, but I do like the idea of him like that being what fractures his mind again. That like, oh my God, like this is going to be passed down and it's just going to keep going. Yeah. And you're right. Yeah, she's very unlikable in that sense, that because she would have known who he was. She knew what he did, and to just kind of basically fuck him over like that is really. That's
why, like, I think him killing himself would have been the perfect punishment. Also, the reassurance that his parenting had it would have all been up to her. Like his parenting would have had no, burden on the kid's life.
It lacks some of the horror and tension. Obviously, I don't think this is a very suspenseful film. But
blame the director.
When you factor in too, Perkins got his AIDS diagnosis during this, when he died, I think 2 years or maybe closer to 3 later, 3 years later. So knowing that, like, there are certain scenes in here that I think have been added emotional impact. I don't love for, like, I really don't. And Henry Thomas, I'm not as big of a fan of his performance, which again we'll elaborate on that later. I don't think he's bad. I'm not as big of a fan as you. And Olivia Hussey, I mean, hey, Black Christmas, horror royalty. There were moments where I was like kind of laughing when I really shouldn't have been laughing. It was a little bit over the
mustache twirly, right?
Yeah, there were a few moments where I shouldn't be laughing at this in the same. I mean, again, there is still, you could argue, a decrease in quality for sure, but I don't know. There's in this one certainly, but
in the nudity as well.
Yes.
I will tell you, I was a fan of her in the red dress when I was a youngster. So
I'm just saying, them shits were pointing down.
Well, that's what they used to look like back in the day when they didn't have him. They were like,
and
she was too young for that shit, bro.
I know. Hopefully she wasn't.
Indie Phantom's right. It is a little bit more of a melodrama.
It is
at times, which is fine. Like I said, I was still interested. This has just got a lot going against it.
We could have just had, if he wouldn't have passed, maybe we would have got Halloween 5, and he goes straight Benoit on the family because she didn't listen.
Dude, I would have
over Halloween 5.
Oh my God, that sounds fantastic!
Hear the Rabid song. Juliet Cummings. I'm thinking Juliet Cummings from the last film. Yes, Romeo and Juliet. I remember they used to play that in school. We got to see.
I saw that in school too.
Big Rib just said it too. My first booze, saw them in school.
Yeah, not my first, but I definitely saw them in school. Freshman year. I was like, oh, cool.
I wish I knew what my first hits in a movie were. I feel like it's probably a fucking nightmare.
Well,
film.
I think mine is The Accused. I don't know for sure, but that makes the most sense to me.
That does make a lot of sense.
Probably Caddy. Yeah, and Indie Phantom has a point. Sleepwalkers, another Mick Garris movie.
I like that movie a lot.
Some incestuous, very direct incestuous moments. I can kind of see, like, I don't know if I needed some of that spelled out, and I don't know that I wanted like the happy ending for Norman. Really,
no.
I think it would have been better, like you said, Kruger, like just more of a tragic ending. The legacy ends. I mean, you know what they would have done? It would have been like that big question mark shot with the baby, like zoom in on the baby or something like in the crib.
Here's what Indy said. That was funny.
Yeah, Todd has a point. Like in Bates Motel, when they're all excited about Bates raising a kid, these films are secretly about problems with the justice system and healthcare.
Healthcare and the justice system.
But yeah, no, four is not great, but it still has its moments.
I wasn't mad. I lost HBO for a month to watch. See here, I'm just gonna admit it. I'm like with my Halloween obsession, anything with Donald Pleasance I love. 99.9% of anything with Anthony Perkins in it, I love.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And honestly, we should do a show. He has like 3 recent slashers that
Edge
are just
of
dropped.
Sanity.
The New Blue. We have I'm Dangerous Tonight, and in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So,
Anthony Perkins appreciation. Let's do it.
Yeah. And again, they'll probably all be 5s. I'm just guessing.
Had he been around in a different time, he could have roided up and made a great Benoit in a biopic.
I'd watch the shit out of it.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm with you guys. It's not very it's not top tier, but I enjoy it. I don't hate. Honestly, I don't hate any of these fucking Psycho movies. I know that I don't hate any of them.
As of now, I don't hate it. Oh, we also didn't point out the man with the real body count, John Landis, randomly.
Yes. And we also
hold my beer, Norman.
Fucking show you how to do.
Just gets. Oh my god! I just picture him riding a helicopter. And
he's just like on the side of it.
Yeah, no, like he's riding it sideways and just chopping up a fucking bunch of people.
Just make it in the rain, so it's like the shower scene, just upscaled.
that would have been the plan for Psycho 5. Like he killed one of John Landis's relatives, and then you get that like chase scene with like the helicopter and Landis in it. Just chopping into the Bates house.
I can't.
All right. Anyways,
real quick, and then we have Perkins' love of Mick Garris going throughout this one, where he was not happy.
Came around.
It's like admitted.
It did, but he came around.
He was not happy. He wasn't directing it.
Oh
like
yeah.
And Garris talks about all the times he'd like make a big point in front of the whole crew. Like the famous one is the apple bit, because they wanted him like shove the knife in the table. And he's like, and he told him, he gave him like a 20-minute lecture of why. And then they went off to the side. He like, Garris called, okay, just give, yeah. And then like he convinced them, like he told him, he was basically talking down to him. But that's when he came up with the apple thing, which I think is more effective than the knife. I mean, it's been done a million times. Yeah. Speaking of knives,
I would fucking take his word. He's been playing this character for X amount of years.
It's like one of those things. Yeah, you don't like.
How ironic was it that John Landis was in the scene when the line, "You're gonna let people get killed in the name of ratings"? That's where if Mick Garris were a piece of shit, they should have zoomed in on Landis.
Okay, you know what? It's
the Todd cut.
Oh yeah, no, even better.
There's some cringy lines in here that do make you laugh. I mean, that thing of yours is for making wee. I was just like, okay, it's funny.
That's funny.
But
I think maybe this is just.
I might have gone a different route with it.
To be fair, though, blood, like in the first one, that's kind of goofy too. Like,
yeah.
I think
there's minutes in all of them, but I mean, he's kind of like goofy, awkward, so it kind of, makes sense. I can't remember which scene it was. I want to say it was in the finale. No, when he hit the knife with something, his hand. I think he was stabbing and his hand slid and he cut his.
Oh yeah, Henry Thomas.
Yeah.
What scene was it?
I'm trying to remember what
it was. The stab motion. It was like a foam thing in water to make the blood splash.
And it like his hand.
And yeah, the blade doesn't have like a handle, so it going straight down, and it fucked him up.
It kept going.
And he still has a scar.
Yeah. So next time you see Henry Thomas, ask him to see his site.
Let me see that scar, dude.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll go on to the next one.
All right.
Are we ready?
That's a good way to call it.
That's
The
the new name
butthole
officially now.
I would like to go first on this because I think I will lube it up at least. Because
Go
again,
for it.
like I said earlier, I don't hate any of these Psychos movies. I appreciate what they tried to do and what they tried to accomplish and show, like, their love and affection for this masterpiece of a movie. I'm glad this experiment was done so we don't ever have to fucking do it again. It's just not the same quality. It's way under. But I don't hate it. I don't think it's a cinematic cancer that it gets the reputation for. But I also understand if you fucking want to strangle the movie as a whole. So I do find I don't rewatch this one like ever, but I don't hate it. I just rather not.
Fair enough.
So,
yeah, for me, just hearing about this, like I never realized Vince Vaughn was playing Norman Bates, and I'm a big Vince Vaughn fan. So going in, I was really excited, and I'll say the first 20 minutes, like I was kind of into it just because of how well they do with it being shot for shot, but it also being modernized. But then, like, Vince Vaughn comes on the screen, and his Norman Bates is just, it's very, and maybe I'm completely off base about this, but it's very homoerotic. Like,
yeah,
like a very homoerotic portrayal of that character. And it just didn't work for me because I'd never, have seen Norman kind of like that, other than, just the fact that he dresses in women's clothes.
They had to really downplay it in the original.
Yeah, and they even make the point like he's not a transvestite. It's way different. He's actually his mother. So I just them kind of putting that into this rubbed me the wrong way. The shower sequence, I think, is just atrocious because it's like
it doesn't work.
It should work, but it just
the clouds.
doesn't.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know. Maybe it's just partly because it's in color as well. Like I don't know. It's not the same. And the butthole fucking shot is just it's so ridiculous and just unneeded. Like we didn't need.
Well,
Hitchcock wanted it.
they had to cut that minus the butthole.
He really wanted to see Janet Lee's butt.
But I would rather see all hers though. Like,
I'm with you there.
I mean, that's just.
Wait, I gotta pause it real quick. Kruger, you beat Dan to the butthole scene. I'm just saying that now.
I had to get him back for.
You wouldn't have had anything to say. You would have 20-minute conversation about the scene.
I had to get him back, so I got you, Doug. But yeah, it's just overall, it's not very good, and I was very optimistic within that first 20 minutes, and then by the end, I was like, yeah, I understand the fucking hate. It's one that I probably will never rewatch again, and it's a one and done for sure for me. But I do think Vince Vaughn could play a good Norman Bates if his direction was just better. Dan, you don't count. You fucking shit all over fucking Freaky. I actually enjoy fucking Vince Vaughn.
I like Vince Vaughn. I don't like him in Freaky, but
I think he's an intimidating enough character, and they just didn't put him in the right situations. Like, Anthony Perkins, for example, in Psycho 2, like the scene where, he's trying to get the knife back from Meg Tilly's character, like it is kind of intimidating. This dude just big dude's just grabbing this fucking knife, cutting his hands open and shit, coming towards her. And Vince Vaughn never really has an intimidating presence, I don't think, in this movie whatsoever.
I think one of the issues with Vince Vaughn in this is, I mean, we don't think of him this way. Well, maybe if you became a fan recently, you might, but Vince Vaughn's kind of a beast. That dude's like 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah,
he's a
giant.
big guy.
That looks little.
I don't think he was
like Matt
right.
Morgan.
I don't think he was. I don't think he was right for this at all. I think it was terrible casting. And I used to always not defend it. Psycho 1998, I used to say was more pointless.
The
butthole version was more pointless than outright bad.
Yeah.
It didn't need to happen with this one. Why? Like, I think Psycho 2 answered why. This could not answer why. This didn't need to happen.
Kruger said it earlier, like the first, what was it, 20, 30 minutes? And that's the thing. For a little bit, it's cool to see them trying to like do
like
it.
a stage play.
And then it hits a point you're like,
it should have gone, because it's about 97% this shot for shot. And it, like, number one, Anne Heche even, she's fine, but she's not great.
Oh, I do not like her as
the stuff that they added, they probably should have just gone further, like make this the more gory version of Psycho. Of course, we are in 98.
Head off.
we're in the shadow of more watered down horror like Scream at this point. So that's probably partially why they weren't able to like push it. Like
Scream has a fucking brutal ass kills in it. What the fuck are you talking about?
Scream's not a hard R, but this one is like
that's the dumbest fucking shit I've heard you say in a while.
Scream is light horror. I stand by it. But this
it's still gory, motherfucker. It deserves an R rating.
But this could have gone a little bit further. Like we get to see Norman masturbate. Like
I do not like that.
I don't.
You should not be able to get it hard enough to come.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Well, it should have. Like, if you're gonna do it, rather than making it exactly the same, go a little bit harder on the gore. Go a little bit harder on whatever. Just if you really just want this to be that. Like, I would have rather this be a dumb slasher movie than just a retread of Psycho. Why?
But it was also an experiment. Now we know it doesn't work.
No, well, it's a dumb experiment doing it shot for so close shot for shot.
It hadn't been done to that point.
New ground.
Vince Vaughn, great actor. He's bad in this. He is not good. He's totally miscast. He did nothing for me. I would have defended him a little bit more though in the past. I don't remember him not working to the level, because this has been a long time since I watched this. I think I watched it maybe, I don't know, 12 years ago, maybe 15. Yeah, he doesn't work. He's just not right for it.
There's better Normans out there. I agree. Ever see Clay Pigeons? Vaughn is creepy in that.
Yeah, it's been a while.
No, you should check it out.
You'll like Clay Pigeons.
Yeah, you will.
And
not
he does
horror
comedy
but...
well. Now, he wasn't the old school comedy guy at this point. I hear some people complain. It's like, oh, yeah, well, he really was. At this point,
Swingers still had it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he hadn't solidified.
That wasn't the over the top. Well, no, it was. Yeah,
Wedding Crashers, old school.
It was. It was just. It was. It was a smaller pick. It's like saying. It's like Clerks. I mean, saying they're not too over the top.
It's been a minute since I've watched Swingers too.
I watch that one pretty regularly. So.
Yeah. Julianne Moore, though, I will say I like Julianne Moore in this quite a bit, but that's about the only good thing I can say about it. It's just
it never needed to happen.
Yeah.
And now, can you imagine though, Dan, if this would have been a hit, we would have had so many more of shot for shot remakes.
Yeah, you would have got like a Jaws one next or some shit.
Well, I think Spielberg would have still been able to kill that.
Yeah, Jaws. I don't think I don't think it would have been shot for shot. You would have had. It would have been a cross between Jaws.
Yeah, it's just a random fucking.
It would be a cross between Jaws and Deep Blue Sea. They would have never done shot.
But Dan, we were talking about.
It's hypothetical, dude.
If this broke the box office, every remake from this point on would be damn near shot for shot.
That would be terrible.
No, that would have been really. Yeah.
Any love for Viggo Mortensen as Sam Loomis, the third?
I like him in general, but he's
fine.
He nothing special. No.
Yeah. But honestly,
with that cast, it should have been.
But if we're being honest, if you look at the original Sam Loomis, he's actually pretty much parallel. He was just kind of there. I mean, like performance-wise, I mean, Hitchcock didn't like the.
He was a little more reserved. I liked it. I don't know. He just seemed more. I don't know. Not an everyman, but like above. Where in the butthole version, it's just that's just a cheater who works at a hardware store. I don't really feel for him.
We also have Rance Howard pop up as the boss.
That was cool.
Yeah, which in the hold on, I gotta get.
While he's thinking of that, Ben, yes, Vaughn is great in Brawl on Cell Block 99. I think.
Oh my God, he is.
He's never.
Have you guys seen Dragged Across Concrete?
I finally watched it.
That's the one I need to watch.
Oh
You-
yeah.
Get
The
on it.
running time always put me off on it.
Yeah.
And then I finally watched it. What Dan? I know I told like a month ago, maybe.
Yeah, not
Oh,
even
God.
that. I think that was a couple
Humble
weeks
brag, saw both of them at the Egyptian for Beyond Fest. It's fucking rad. I got free donuts.
I actually watched Brawl on Cell Block 99 because
so
of the post mortem show, JD Horror and Dom's podcast. They love all that director's work. He's the same guy that did Bone Tomahawk too, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Bone
So far,
Tomahawk,
every movie, yeah,
phenomenal. Oh my
3 for
God.
3.
That was he was a Cinestate guy, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Alright.
So, yeah, more pointless, but it's not the worst of remakes by any means. It's just
No.
why. Just why.
It was pointless. That's the best word for it.
But but now we have the knowledge. Don't do that. So
Yeah. I mean, props for that at least.
yeah. Silver lining.
I do like how they talk about the butthole shot too in that documentary about the shower scene. Like they specifically were just like, yeah, what the fuck was that? Also, shout out to them fucking saying the irreversible rape scene isn't like it's not that like graphic. It's just fucked up.
Is
Right.
it
I forgot
CGI
who said-
penis? So it was
yeah.
the Spectrovision guys.
Yeah. Not Elijah Wood, but the other guy was just talking about that, and I thought it was nice that they brought up that movie.
Great
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah,
Todd, or no, you went to the mall today and had a moment.
Maybe we could talk about that on a post show eventually.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna have it for those wondering tonight because I have a feeling we're gonna be long on this one. We're already gonna be long on this one.
Yeah, we haven't gotten into rankings yet. So
But we're getting
probably
close. We're about to get there right now.
Yep.
Do we have anything else on the butthole version?
Not really. No, I will say though, not the movie, but there is, if you get the Blu-ray and watch some of the on-set footage, that's actually really interesting because they've shot a lot and there's a lot of like, talking about how they're going to do certain scenes. William H. Macy is trying on hats for Gus Van Sant. That was probably what I enjoyed most about it. So,
Edmund.
Yeah.
Underrated movie.
Yeah. Oh,
Masterpiece.
Edmund.
Yeah, it is.
Nobody will see Edmund. I ask so many people, like, have you seen it? No. Like,
I-
watch the fucking movie. It's
Side
so
note,
good.
the first time I ever saw that movie was on IFC, and I was like, "What the fuck is this? This is incredible!" So I love that.
It's one of Stuart Gordon's best.
I
Edmund's
100%
fantastic.
agree. I love that movie.
Stock
All right.
is another good one.
Let's go right into our rankings. I think we'll move at a bit of a brisker pace now since we got that a lot of discussion now. And anything we missed. One thing I did miss, I was also when I mentioned going to Universal Studios Florida, I got to see the Psycho 4 house. So that I was it was yellow.
Todd,
What?
not to pause you on that, but that is something maybe we should talk about that confuses a lot of people about the Psycho house, which was first of all never.
Hold on, you want to take down the butthole?
That's what I was doing.
No
I've
more.
taken
butthole
down
talk.
a few.
Yeah, it was not. Well, number one, the Psycho house was actually inspired by the Edward Hooper House by the Railroad painting, so that was kind of the genesis. But it was always just two walls on a Universal lot. So
Well, not always. It's got.
Well, I'm getting there.
Yeah. Okay.
There were two houses that they built for the 1946 comedy So Goes My Love, and it was put on the back lot, and it was used in all sorts of things. And one was the Munsters house, which was ruined by the fucking Desperate Housewives.
Pause.
Who
Desperate
destroyed
Housewives is
the
an
house.
awesome
It's
show.
not
Suck a
the
dick.
Munsters house is slightly different. There's still two houses.
Monster Go Home. Yes, it's very complicated.
I like Desperate
No,
Housewives.
it is,
that
but the
known.
original house
How?
is different.
Have you seen the show?
I did watch a little bit of that with my mom.
How far did you get?
I don't know, like half a season.
It
Yeah,
was
you didn't
too
get to the good shit. Yeah.
He was
And-
too female driven for Dan. But
Ah.
no,
Yeah.
there. Go ahead with the house. But yeah, that's.
I was gonna say Ghost and Mr. Chicken, one of your personal favorites, Todd, and all sorts of different things. It's a complicated history.
There's always been two houses, and they're not the same house, though.
Yeah, they're not the same house. I'm saying, there were two, and that's where it gets very convoluted. But
well, there's the argument now is because is the original Psycho house really the original Psycho house?
Well, yeah, when you take everything away, at what point?
Yeah, does it no longer become the original if you're because through all that updating, and there's still question if that one time they moved it, if it was the original house or it wasn't really the original house.
Yeah,
but the two walls thing, there's 4 because so you can see around it. There are 4 walls to the Psycho house.
The facade.
Now. Yeah.
That was a funny story where Anthony Perkins ran into the house and just screamed "Mother" and scared the shit out of the other guys.
But I was talking about the Psycho 3 or 4 house. That's actually in Florida. They actually filmed it there when they filmed stuff at that over there. And also I didn't bring it up earlier. The Psycho remake house. It's like I'm glad it looked different, but
that's one. That it probably should have been closer to the same. If you're gonna make it that close, anyways, just make it the same as you possibly can. If you're doing something totally different, I understand and I can accept a different design.
But if we'll get into it later. But I mean, if you look at the show, they did something totally different, but they kept it.
Yeah.
I mean, we were in a different era, but it looks like the house. There was one small difference between the hotel. I'll talk about later.
Are we doing Bates
we're going to talk about it briefly.
Okay. Cool.
We're not going to go too spoilers because not everyone's seen it, not just here, but out there.
Yeah.
So we're just going to briefly talk about it.
Some will probably come up with that, I think, through our rankings too.
Yeah. And yeah. Was there anything more on the house you wanted to say, Dan?
No. I just said it's a complicated history. Nobody knows exact. There's not an exact paper trail to,
But it's as close. Even if it's not the original, because it's like, at what point is it not? That's the whole argument. Like, if you part out your car because it's old, is it still the same car, or when does it become a different car?
Yeah.
So it's like
it still looks like it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not like they rebuilt a new one, unless they really did when they moved
like the Jaws Bruce prop isn't not the Jaws Bruce prop just because they refurbished it.
Right. Well, they have had a few on that one. That one's like, oh my God, have you ever seen the first one?
Mm-hmm.
God, it's so ugly. Since real quick, Universal, before we jump into rankings, does anyone remember the burning house at Universal Studios Hollywood?
What the fuck was it called?
The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas house.
Oh,
yeah, it's been a long time.
Oh, I thought you said, did you say burning house?
It was a white house facade, and you drive by it, and they always had fire out the windows to show you fire.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about something else. There was like a firefighter fucking thing. One point.
That's the original.
I got a nosebleed in that.
The original.
I missed that. I thought that was always a cool show.
It's fucking amazing. Yeah.
It's the last. God, I was gonna say last house on the left.
Of course you were. The last whorehouse on the left.
The best little
whorehouse.
Oh my God, how come I can't say it? The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas with Dolly Parton and Burt Reynolds, which I am a fan of, even though it's it's got the good version of "I Will Always Love You."
How dare you again?
But
why are you attacking me?
I'm not a Whitney guy. I mean, she's cooler now. But I had a point to this, though. If you did not know, that burning facade, that house, the Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, is the House of 1,000 Corpses. That's the house.
Shit.
Oh.
Yeah. I believe it's gone now. They did tear it down. They filmed the second one at that ranch where they always film because Universal. Yeah.
Yeah, we looked it up. Those weren't. Yeah, we weren't able to get there when we were down there.
So, all right. Well, we got Rhinestone Ride or Die. Okay.
Hold on a second. Andy Phantom. I am a huge fan, Todd. Oh, I thought he was talking. He's a huge fan of yours. That's all I read.
Talking about Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. You know what? I'll push that one through for the Best Little Whorehouse in Texas farce review. Rhinestone's another. That one might be a watch.
Yeah.
I just rewatched that with a buddy. That might be a
Sylvester
watch.
Stallone, man.
But all right, let's get into
Rankings.
our rankings. I'm curious where we're gonna go. I wonder if it's gonna be 1, 2, 3.
All right, well,
Who wants to go
see.
first?
I can go first.
All right.
All right. So for me, obviously, the first Psycho is in first place. Then it would be Psycho 2, then Psycho 4, then Psycho 3, then the remake, and then Bates Motel at the fucking dead last. It doesn't even deserve to be on the list, honestly.
All right. Well, for me, I'm going to include Bates Motel. Also, this is a promo item from back in the day, right when it came out. Little hotel soaps. I've never opened it.
The Bates Motel show, to be clear.
Yeah, Bates Motel show.
Which I haven't seen.
And I wish you would.
You know what? Now that you've done it, watch it with your mom. I think she'll.
Yeah. So for me, number one by far is the original Psycho. Like, that's just top tier shit. Number two would be Bates Motel, the series. So if you want to say just do movies, just take that one off. Then it's Psycho 2, Psycho 3, Psycho 4, the remake, and the Bates Motel movie. So we're kind of this almost the same Kruger. Just 1, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bates Motel. I can't recommend that enough. The first season may be a little weird, but just power through it.
I did try watching it, and I think I got like 2 episodes in. I was like, I'm not really vibing with this thing. But
is it the weed thing?
I don't know if it was the weed.
Probably the
thing.
iPod thing at first, because the earbuds. I was like, I thought we were gonna go back in time. Whatever.
Yeah,
it takes place in current time.
Yeah.
Well, now it doesn't.
Oh yeah, this is 2015.
No, it does. And
okay, I didn't actually know. Maybe that makes more sense to me now. Then,
yeah,
it works for me. So.
It does. Yeah, give it a shot. You'll like it, I think, in the long run. All right, Dan, what's your ranking?
All right, so I did grow to really love the Bates Motel TV series, but I'm not ranking a TV series against the movies, so I'm leaving that off. But ranking wise for the movies, the original Psycho is one of the most important films ever made. It's just, and it doesn't age. It does not age. It is a perfect film. I love it. 2, one of the best horror sequels ever made. I think it's amazing what they had, the in the shadow of Hitchcock, what Franklin was able to do. 3, lots of fun. Again, as we said, like there's some issues at this point, but it's just a fun movie. Then I am 4, a lot of issues, but also some cool moments as well. Then strictly for Lori Petty, but Bates Motel 1987. Not saying it's good, but at least it was trying to do something different. And then the remake, which, we just talked about.
All right. Well, Todd put everything on his list. So and don't yell at me, Kruger. So, of course, the first one, is
3.
It's number 1. I mean, there's no one can. Yeah, it changed cinema. It's, it's a great film. I mean, I can't top 3 for me. I don't know where I'd lie. It depends on my mood. My second favorite, not the second best, is the third film, and I know it's my attachment to it. Followed by 2, followed by the television series Bates Motel, followed by 4, followed by the black and white parody, the color parody.
Oh, you dick!
Bates Motel, the TV pilot movie, and the butthole version. So I had to make sure to pad them all in so you knew how low the butthole version was. So,
all right, that's funny. I didn't include the parodies. Big T. When you talk about the forefathers of horror, Psycho is definitely one of the top 4 on the Mount Rushmore of horror.
Yeah, definitely.
You're getting an argument from me.
All right.
Before you move to the next one, does anybody else have this? It's a little beat up from several moves because I got it a long time ago. But
I got some stuff too that we could show.
Yeah,
maybe at
Dan, we're doing a merchandise part, right? I don't know.
Well, that's about it for me. I don't have a lot of.
I should have saved my soap then. My bad.
Yeah, I'm following Pugs.
I didn't. Well, because I knew you
goddamn
pulled
it.
stuff. He didn't pull stuff.
Yeah, no, it's not. That's about it.
All right.
Yeah, well, that's all right. I still got some cool stuff.
Cool.
It's going to take a minute. If we didn't say it, and then I should probably put it in the description. You're going to get an unboxing of like the Psycho Ultimate Collection German. Yeah, so that's a bonus. That'll be in our merchandise section. Since I don't have a lot of merch either, so.
Yeah, I only have a couple of things.
And like, I didn't want to find my posters. I have a couple things that are cool. I think the set's going to be the coolest one. But all right, I guess we'll keep going in the same order unless anyone has wants to go different.
Fine by me.
All right, I think Kruger first, me last works, so then I can't get yelled at. All right, let's rank Normans. Yes, Dan, you don't have to give us a 10-minute lecture while you left out Freddie Highmore.
No, I rank him as an actor for sure.
Oh, but
Rules don't apply to him. Kruger.
I know.
You can't compare a show to a movie. That's dumb.
It's a
can't
franchise show, sir.
But it's a different medium. But
but you can take a whole show and base it off enjoyment and what you enjoy more.
And then we have to, Dan. Then we have to pull the TV movie, and we have to pull Psycho 4.
Well, you said you considered that a movie since it aired as a TV movie.
Well,
so.
then we'd have
Why
to
the
pull
fuck
Psycho
are we
4
having this
too.
argument, Dan?
Because
Yeah.
Dan
Come
does that.
Because you started it. Go.
All right, ranking Normans. Obviously, Anthony Perkins is number one, and I haven't watched the show, so that just leaves fucking Vince Vaughn dead last, which, to my disappointment. But
Henry Thomas also you have.
oh yeah, that is true. Well, then Henry Thomas, then Vince Vaughn.
Okay, I figured that was going to be the order, but
Yeah.
you technically, yeah. I'm not saying everyone has to rate every Norman, but Pugs.
I am Anthony Perkins as number one because it's fucking Anthony Perkins. Number two, Freddie Highmore from Bates Motel, the show, the 2013 show went on. He did Anthony justice. I think he would have been proud of what he accomplished. Number three for me would be Henry Thomas. I thought he did a pretty good job. And then last is Vince Vaughn. I didn't count the dude from Bates Motel 87 because we didn't really get to see much of him. So.
All right, Dan.
Well, no surprise. Anthony Perkins is the iconic Norman Bates. My second pick, actually the only other one that I truly like in the role, Freddie Highmore. My third pick, I don't think he was bad, just, not great, Henry Thomas. And then Vince Vaughn, who I didn't like at all.
All right, so once again, Anthony Perkins is my number one, followed by number two, Henry Thomas. 3, Freddie Highmore. 4, Ryan McClane from Bates Motel.
Okay.
Kurt Paul from the parody, and then Vince Vaughn. So he gets the last.
It wasn't Michael Vegas?
I thought it was Ken Paul.
Oh, either way, the guy, porno actor, and then the other guy.
Yeah, I padded those just to put Vaughn at the end.
Poor Vince Vaughn will listen to this. Like, they rank a porn guy over me.
Don't listen don't listen to our freaky fucking show. You'll hear Dan bitching about you for fucking 2 hours.
I didn't bitch about Vaughn. I bitched about the movie.
Let's not rehash that. I don't want Kruger to snap.
No more shot-by-shot remakes here.
All right. Let's hit our final girl. Not literally. Well, maybe depends how we're defining hit. All right.
Well, me personally, I will fully argue that Meg Tilly is a final girl in Psycho 2. And that's my number one pick. Just because, like, the depth with her character, and then when you realize at the end that Norman's aunt was going around killing people too, so maybe she did actually think that Norman was going around killing people. It made sense to me, and yeah, I just love her. I think she's a gorgeous woman, and her performance is fucking phenomenal in this.
I don't know if it's cheating or not, but I went with Norman / mother. They're at the end.
I'll jump in when we get to Dan.
Okay.
All right. My favorite final girl is Emma Ducote from Bates Motel, played by Olivia Cook, who, if you watch that show, she is absolutely amazing. One of the more, I'm not doing any spoilers, but one of the more emotional moments you'll ever see towards the end. And I also want to just say Olivia Cook is excellent. If you haven't watched it, drama, Katie Says Goodbye. Heartbreaking in that.
She's great in everything.
Can you send me that name after?
Yeah, Katie Says Goodbye. Yeah, I got it.
She's going to be in House of Dragons, just so you guys know, and that starts next month.
It's funny. She had a moment where, like, her roles, like, she had physical deformities. She did a few.
It was like a go-to handicapped person.
All right. Get that girl from Bates Motel.
She is so good.
Dude, she's talented and she's fucking hot as hell. Like, not fair.
Even with that shit on her face.
Well, you'll definitely like her. And Katie Says Goodbye.
She was in something recently that was really good too.
There is something in Katie
Ready Player
Says
One.
No, there's some. No, yeah, that's what I said. Even with that shit on her face. I'm with Pugs, and
cool.
You cannot argue out if he's not the final girl in part 2.
Mm-hmm.
So, if that is 100% my pick, if we were going to void it, it would have to be Meg Tilly. But again, there's an argument why that wouldn't be also.
I would go with Dan's pick as number 2 if I had to choose an actual.
Yeah. But no, yeah. So okay, what do you guys think?
What a dickhead I am, an actual. You know what I mean? All right. What's next?
Next is our favorite character. I know mine's going to be no shock.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite character is obviously Norman Bates, but if I wasn't going to pick him, it would be Mother, just because the fact that this corpse plays a character throughout almost all of the movies is fucking awesome. And yeah.
All right. As much as I want to say Norma Bates from Bates Motel, the show, I'm giving this to actually Norman from the original.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be Norman. I get, but if I'm pulling him out of the equation, I love Dwayne. There's like no other character in it. So
that's good.
Yeah, but of course, what
you went over? Well, that's fine.
What?
Go for it. You went out of order. But
now what's yours?
Now you know how it feels every time you do an introduction.
So yes, favorite character. I'm not gonna pick Norman because that's just too obvious. I will go Dwayne. I think Dwayne. If we were to, I hate fan films. I don't like them, but I might actually watch a Dwayne.
Make one.
Yeah, Dan.
If you're gonna put that effort, why make a stupid fan film? You can do something original.
Well, why did that be stupid?
Original. Why make a fan film? It's just like, yeah.
It's an exercise, homie.
Okay. Favorite character. So now this one will be interesting, kind of. Favorite kill.
All right. So,
do we want to do you last on this one, Kruger? I think you
you guys go ahead.
Pugs.
I'm going for fucking low hanging fruit here. It's the shower scene. It's just too iconic for it not to be my favorite. It rules. Like, and I understand there's some more coming up, but that's the shower scene for me.
Would you have a backup? I almost put a few
knife
of
through
these.
The mouth.
I almost put a few of these with an asterisk on them, but I figured.
Knife through the mouth for sure. In this, yeah.
But yeah, the shower scene, most iconic kill of any movie. Period.
The shower scene is obviously the most iconic, and if I had to pick a backup, because that's almost unfair, it'd be Lila Crane in Psycho 2. That knife in the mouth, that was shocking. I can only imagine at the time too. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah. Especially because that's like the first bit of gore too, really, in the franchise.
They took it from House by the Cemetery. Actually, I believe that came out first, but maybe not. Actually, 83. Fuck.
Yeah, and honestly, it wouldn't have came out of in the States either.
So maybe they stole it from that. I mean, I've seen that kill so many times. But yeah, I mean that the knife in the mouth was shocking as fuck, and that's when I realize we're here to fucking play when it comes to the kills in the movie. But my favorite kill that isn't the shower scene is the doctor's death in Psycho 2. He gets fucking stabbed by Meg Tilly, and then he falls back and does, the awesome Hitchcock shot of him falling. But then he like falls off the side, hits one of the fucking railings of the staircase, and it like knife first, so the stabbing goes all the way into him and then falls to his death. Just fantastic. And like the shot right when the knife hits the fucking railing and it goes deeper into him is awesome. The grunt he makes, perfect fucking kill.
Right on.
All right. Oh, we leapfrogged me. It's all right though. Mine, of course, would be shower, would be the first. But if I pick another one, I've always liked the phone booth kill in 3 with Juliette Cummings.
Oh, yeah.
Even though, because it's out of nowhere, it's like their version of the Psycho theme for it. It's not as bloody as the Psycho 2 one. Well, as we mentioned earlier, it's
the cleanup is blood here.
Yeah. But yeah, so I've always, and then that leads into the other stuff. So that would be my favorite. All right. Favorite quotes. I put it plural. Let's please start out on one, Dan.
No.
All right. Saying when we get to you. I'm saying when we get to you. Don't like. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Yeah, one quote apiece. God damn it. So me, it's we all go a little mad sometimes. I mean, that's how could it not be? I go a little mad all the fucking time. So.
Same here. I stole it for one of the lyrics in Psycho Vertigo from Deviant Vulture Skulls. So, same. Dan?
For me, it was Norman's speech to Mary in Psycho 2, where they bring up the toasted cheese sandwiches, and he is just, that's the doctors took them all away along with everything else except those sandwiches. It is some of the best acting, maybe the best acting in the entire franchise. I just really thought that hit well.
So what's your quote though, Dan?
The last part of it. I mean, it's a longer piece of dialogue, but except those sandwiches.
Okay, there we go. There's a quote. Yeah, see, I have so many on this one, but I'm gonna go with. I should go with the one, but Dan already ruined it by saying it earlier.
If that's your favorite, though,
I go back and forth because you guys, we always go a little mad sometimes. Although Vince Vaughn kind of tainted that for me. Every time I hear him say it, I get annoyed.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I don't hear him say it.
There is no God. I always.
Oh, of course.
That one. But if I'm forced down to one. Yeah, it's we all go a little mad sometimes, but
I wouldn't even hurt a fly.
Yeah, that's a great one too. Like that, his little, don't. I'm not even gonna swat it, and that's when they'll say she wouldn't even hurt a fly. Like that is just an awesome little piece of dialogue. And another thing that didn't work in the fucking remake either.
Yeah. But that scene's so fucking powerful. You hear the fly buzzing.
Yeah.
You're doing her monologue, the little fucking flash of the mother's corpse and stuff, and a little smile.
I'm actually surprised that we haven't talked about like how Pamela Voorhees' corpse, plays as mother for Jason Voorhees throughout the whole Friday the 13th franchise, and also kind of how the original movies almost reverse Psycho. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
With her son telling her to kill. Like that's just, I've always thought that's awesome, and that's 100% why I think Psycho is like the grandfather of slashers, because of its influence, especially in Friday the 13th. I mean, Friday the 13th wouldn't work properly if Psycho was never made.
Yeah,
man. All
right. Well, I guess Kruger, have yourself a smoke. We're going to talk a little TV series real quick. We're not going to go spoilers because I know there's people in the chat who haven't seen it who want to now, but we'll talk a little bit about it real quick. So, I mean, I'm just
entice me to watch it. There you go.
All right. Well, first I'm going to say
Vera Farmiga. That should be all you need.
I love the show. It's some of the best television.
Todd, episode 1, a totting. He kicks her leg open. It's fucking
Oh my
great.
god! I will say it was funny because I forgot about that. I watched it with my mom. And I just like, where's the pillow?
I got way too excited when that went down. Oh yeah, it was glorious.
Okay, is that all we needed there, Kruger?
It's actually really good too.
No,
like,
I have. That's in the first episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I have seen it. I know what you're talking about.
Okay,
it's
it's
with the
fucking
mother, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
But
gonna
no,
watch it when we're done.
the first season, I will admit, like there's some side stories. I'm like, okay, we don't really need this, but once it starts progressing and narrowing down, it's a fucking fantastic
And
journey.
everything
It's
pays
fucking
off
awesome.
throughout the series, though. Everything from that, like even the misdirect, like you have a bunch of different things. They don't leave any, really loose ends that I can think of.
Nope. And also Vera Farmiga. I think it's season 3. She has a red dress on. Good Lord. Not to be too pervy, but she's a fucking wonderful actress. She's amazing Norma. Freddie Highmore. Them going back and forth. Freddie Highmore playing playing Vera Farmiga's Norma is fucking incredible.
The whole cast really
Yes.
Yeah.
hit a home run with the cast in Bates Motel.
All the additions that they brought in, like nothing took away from the original like movie and stuff. They just added cool extra things.
In the beginning, I won't lie, like season 1, I wasn't fully on board. It did
I get it.
kind of fully grab me later.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see there's probably a lot of people out there that did kind
checked
of give
out
up on this one. The whole like drug stuff, I was like, I don't know, this isn't that compelling. I do think Freddie Highmore was just fantastic. I could buy him more growing up and just seeing him as Anthony Perkins than I could Henry Thomas, who just was a little bit off for me. Again, not a bad performance, and Henry Thomas, my God, like what he's doing in the genre now. But Highmore was excellent casting and really made it. Really made this show. But man, Olivia Cook too.
Mm-hmm.
Like she might be the all-star. I don't want to reference specific scenes again, but you know what I'm talking about. Like,
oh yeah,
very, very. That was the best acting. Acting doesn't get any better than that one scene that Pugs knows what I'm talking about. Just heartbreaking, so touching. Doesn't get any better.
The Daily
and that's
Ghost.
worth sticking through.
Is it a slasher or a drama about Norman?
More drama.
It's drama heavy, but they do.
Yeah.
There's some kills that you might be happy with.
Yeah,
Yeah, there is. but
Indy did ask if how graphic are
Oh,
the
okay.
kills.
I mean, it was on A&E, so it wasn't
Yeah.
like too graphic, but enough. You get the gist.
If you're just looking for
4
sick kills,
seasons.
for sure, that's not the highlight of Bates Motel.
Think Friday the 13th, like 5 or 6, 7 era. You don't get a lot of the payoff like that you would.
Six had some good ones, but yeah, 7.
It was minimal.
I mean, dude, 7 does have my favorite kill of all time.
and you don't even really see it. That's the crazy thing about it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be way more graphic. The sleeping bag kill is
Yeah.
my favorite kill ever.
I know. I was gonna. Say
We're
something else.
talking about Bates Motel, the series.
No, I know, and I had a point, and I threw myself off.
How
the
does it
sheriff's
pay?
cool too.
Like, does it pay off well in the end too? Like,
Yeah,
I
does
think
it have
so.
A good
Yeah.
final season.
Yeah, I think so. I think
Because that's
also the
worst.
final season, the final episode in season 4. Fuck me. That's great.
Yeah, that's my thing with Dexter, and why I actually haven't watched the newest season is because like there was a point where like the season just got worse and worse and
season
worse.
5 through 8.
That's after he finds
Trinity.
his family murder. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, like it just really took a dip, and like it soured me on a show that I once like absolutely adored.
Well, if you watch the new season, don't watch the first or last episode. Everything in the middle, phenomenal.
I know. Without giving too much away, this is its own thing. We don't follow the exact same ground, but there's enough of it there.
Yeah,
Like-
Norman.
Yeah. I can't say too much, but
I give it my highest recommendation. I think it's a great way to spend a couple of hours watching this
Yeah.
shit.
Be patient, but the payoff is more than worth it. It's worth the journey.
So hopefully Dan doesn't correct me when I mention something later, because he might put the spoiler I'm avoiding when I say it later. So Dan, if there's anything I say that might contradict a spoiler in your brain, just keep it yourself.
I'm not spoiling.
Okay.
Nope.
Well, yeah. 5 seasons, 13 episodes a season.
I thought it was 4.
No, it's 5.
It's 4
it's
seasons.
50 episodes, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. I thought it was 4 seasons.
No, it's 5. Okay, it must be 10, not 13 then.
Yeah, 50. It's 50 episodes, 10 episodes a season.
Okay.
Then the end of season 4 is what I was talking about.
So you're talking end of season 5 or end of season 4?
4.
You said
Either way. No, I know. But I thought there was 4 seasons.
Well, yeah, but then that would have been
Great
the
fucking
season
show.
finale.
I don't want to spoil anything. That's what I'm.
All right.
Vera Farmiga.
Yeah.
Red dress.
Okay.
That was my phone background for a while.
Not a bad one. All right. Well, I guess Kruger, keep enjoying your break. All right, real quick, let's talk the parody.
Oh, cool.
From
Dan, you want to keep it off?
director Gary Arona, Sarah Sloan as Marion Crane. Looks great. I think one thing that's nice about this is you can tell they actually watched the movie. There's an era of adult parodies where it's like they're just capitalizing off of a name and it has absolutely nothing to do with it. This, and especially if you watch it in black and white, you can follow it. In terms of the erotic content, middle of the road.
It's standard like for that era of big budget. You either like the girls and you're enjoying what you're saying, or it's I know.
I mean, you open with like the threesome scene where I guess Hitch's sister is it's kind of funny. It's not all like gags though also, so if you're looking for like really funny parodies, I don't know if I would count this as like particularly hilarious. It's just like a middle of the road for me. But
I find hilarious, I was really disappointed in the ending. I did not like where it landed. What's her fucking name? I can't remember her name, but the lady who played Mother, I was like, you didn't even have a fucking scene. And I know what you can do because I've seen your previous work.
Francesca Lay is the best performer in here.
No, because I am a big fan of Cagney Lynn Carter. One of my go-tos. Now I forgot because I was just wanting to think. I'll say this. Todd and Dan made me or asked me to watch the black and white version after I saw the color version. Massive fucking difference. Right? It's way more enjoyable that way. So if you're gonna check it out, watch the black and white version.
Yeah, this actually improves it, unlike other things.
Yeah, but story-wise, I was kind of rolling my eyes towards the end. The beginning,
the last half, the first half. Yeah, I think we shouldn't have strayed off the story.
Yeah, we should have been a little more closer to actual Psycho.
It starts off excellent. Like it really at the beginning, I'm like, oh wow, they're gonna really just go straight through it. But yeah, it does lose its way at the end. I would agree.
Yeah, but the version to watch is the black and white.
Yeah.
We're checking out. Not the greatest parody. I think we had some better ones on our Texas Chainsaw Massacre show.
Oh yeah,
and the Friday the 13th one's pretty excellent.
Another one I'll throw out there in terms of entertainment value: Rocky Horror Picture Show is hilarious.
I've never seen it.
It's really good.
The parody, I've seen the other one. Okay.
Yeah. That one's hilarious.
Do they do musicals? Do they sing also?
Yeah, you can actually look up.
I think I'm gonna
Safe for Work clip of that. Yeah, check that one out.
It's safe for work. Fuck that.
Well, I'm sure there's an odd. Yeah, I have the DVD. Can hook you up sometime.
All right. Well,
thank you.
Let's talk about all the characters Ed inspired.
Yep. So, this is just some, but these are the big ones.
I did the big ones. We can talk about any other that we're inspired by. Those are like some heavy hitters. All came from. You have Norman, Bubba, and Buffalo Bill. All different. All come from the same thing, but all their own thing.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing that's cool about it too is like Ed Gein wasn't necessarily like a brutal, like he didn't have a high body count you know, his murders weren't like really brutal, but it was more
Only
what
two,
he was
maybe
doing.
three with his brother.
Yeah, and it was more what he was doing with these bodies and like the psychological aspect of why he was doing what he was doing and how and like the way each character takes pieces of that and then just creates their own thing from it is just it's fantastic. I mean, Leatherface is probably my second favorite horror character of all time, and you know, Norman and Buffalo Bill were up there too. Buffalo Bill too, especially like like. He's obviously way more I don't know what the word to describe it
complex.
would be. Yeah, way more complex and like more out there than obviously, you know, we got with like Norman or Leatherface, but like I definitely see the strong Ed Gein you know, influence on his character throughout that movie.
The one thing that it's all of them but Buffalo Bill have it, and that is the oh god, I lost the word. I've lost it.
Well, no worries.
Well, Buffalo Bill is also a mixture of Gary Hynek, who kept girls down in not a well, but like in his basement and stuff. So, but you got Buffalo Bill having the Nazi memorabilia, the swastika blankets, just making the mammary suit and just trying to become a woman. Like, because Ed Gein didn't want to be a woman, he wanted to be his mother. But he went about it weird by fucking digging up chunky bitches and sewing them. And yeah, love him. As a mama's boy, I respect it. I wouldn't go that far, but goddamn.
I know what I was trying to say. With Norman and Leatherface, they both have you both feel for them, unlike Buffalo Bill. I mean, and that people, I don't know if you say that.
Feel for Buffalo Bill a little
well,
bit,
I mean, that Norman and Leatherface are sympathetic characters, unlike Buffalo Bill. I think that's, you know, those two share that in each other, and totally it's weird. Those are two of my favorites.
I could never feel for Buffalo Bill after traumatizing a young Kruger with Goodbye Horses. I watched that movie probably like I was less than 5 years old, maybe.
When are we going to reboot it with Jason Mewes? Maybe that's
you know what?
Clerks 3 is coming up.
You know what? Hold on. Pugs, what do you think of when you hear that song now?
Goodbye Horses?
Yeah.
No, I still think of Buffalo Bill.
I figured you'd go with Maniac.
No. But I you know how happy I was when that shit popped up? I was like, yes, this is amazing.
It appears in a current film that you guys will probably watch at some point. That'll make you pop.
Cool. I think I watched it recently. I
mean, it's not like, you know.
Didn't Jimmy Mayhem just start coming out to Goodbye Horses? Is that right?
So he's gonna have.
Does he better go full gimmick, motherfucker?
Right? He had the pink. Well, I don't know if you guys want to see that.
Full gimmick.
Yeah.
Indy brings up Deranged.
Yeah, dude.
Deranged.
Kruger still hasn't seen it, so easy.
No, I'm not gonna say anything about it's just that is one of the most underrated horror films out there.
Hold on. He said the movie isn't great. You were wrong, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just saw you. Well, I think it's great.
Steve Railsback was a great Ed Gein. The movie isn't great. Deranged is a great film. Oh, my bad. No. The movie isn't great. Deranged is a great film with that guy who played the sleazy old dude in Christine, based on Ed Gein.
Yeah. No. Deranged is fantastic. I'm glad.
He was the old man in Home Alone.
Yeah. And tell me he's not playing the exact same fucking character.
He should be.
I mean, I cannot tell a difference other than he didn't off Kevin when they were in the church, but the way he act, everything.
So that guy's the fucking kill. Oh my god, I gotta see that shit.
Yeah, Deranged is on. Technically,
I don't know why it's not.
Oh, the Ed Gein movie was great. No. I disagree with that too.
I like
it was awesome.
Well, it's no Deranged, but I do like Ed Gein with Steve Railsback.
Yeah, this is more straightforward Ed Gein story. Deranged veers off a little bit.
Yeah,
well, it's not really technically Ed Gein because they didn't want to license it, even though it is. He's Ezra. What is it? I was going to say Ezra Miller.
I mean,
Ezra Miller is his own monster, Todd. He's his own.
I'm waiting for it to come out that he's got like a cult going on and that like weed compound that he has with all the guns.
Yeah, well,
allegedly
already. Yeah,
Ezra Cobb. That is the name we use.
Yeah. See
Okay.
Deranged, guys.
Let's-
Again, Halloween's
Second
coming up
Source.
sooner than
Yeah.
we're expecting. Add Deranged to your list if you haven't seen it. It's so good. Get the Blu-ray. It's so good.
Yeah, I just picked up the Arrow Blu-ray. I just haven't popped it in yet. I figured it's Tom. It's one. I think that's Tom Savini's first film he worked on, if I remember correctly.
I don't know.
Which one?
Deranged?
Yeah, I believe I read that somewhere. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't.
I've taken a lot of chair shots to the head, but I
You know what? My gut says it had to be something Romero, just because that, unless that was filmed
This
out in.
Nicotero.
Yeah, because I know at first he was doing stuff in Pittsburgh, and I don't know where that's shot though. So, and I am no Tom Savini scholar. So I mean,
just see it. That's all I can say about that one. I saw it at a drive-through, actually, one of the Riverside festivals, and it. Whew, I'm so glad I got to see that on a big screen.
Cool.
All right.
Anyway, thank you, Ed Gein, for your contribution to horror.
Gave us all that and much more.
But we don't condone the other stuff.
Future of the franchise.
Real quick, I'll say it because I haven't always, but I started calling my mother, I don't know, mother somewhere in the 90s. She didn't realize I took that from Psycho until we were watching the series.
Yeah.
It's like I was like, yeah, that's where I took it from.
That's funny.
My wife hates it. Yeah, future of the franchise. Okay. What would you do?
What would I
Psycho.
do?
Yeah, right now. Would you reboot it? Would you sequelize it? Do a new show. What do you think the future of the franchise should be, or it will be?
Well,
if any.
For me personally, like immediately after I watched Psycho 4, I was like, why the fuck didn't they do Son of Psycho? Because like I would have watched the shit out of it. And you could just play into him pretending to be his father because his father's dead. Like that could have been interesting.
Instead of his mother.
Yeah. I think like, and then in a sense, you still get Norman.
Yeah. Okay. I like it.
I like that.
Yeah.
Pugs,
Todd, I'm
what about
surprised. I'm surprised you didn't say a fucking Duke spinoff.
Well, that. Okay, I'd still watch that. Damn it.
Yeah. But for me, I would kind of just leave it alone. But if I had to, I just want more of Bates Motel. I don't know how that would be accomplished, but
here's my thing, and I've said this.
What?
No, good. I was gonna say I've said it for years. Like that's where I lie with Bates Motel. Like
I got it. My bad. The Offer and Godfather. That's what I would do next. I would get that make the making of series. So.
Okay. My brain's not working.
By the way, I was correct about
okay.
Deranged.
Was it shot in Pittsburgh too?
I don't believe so. All it says is the film's visual effects were provided by young Tom Savini. I think I heard of that in the his documentary that's on Shudder.
Dan, what about you?
Well, the first thing that I would do, I'm not as big on copycat killer movies. That one, I don't know if I'd go that route, but that might explain.
Me and Kruger are. Although I almost got beat up for that earlier.
that might explain my less than enthusiastic view of Scream. I would leave it alone for a while because that show just ended not too long ago.
I agree.
You've got to let things sit a while. Trying to go directly into another Psycho just wouldn't work. I would say do a more direct, not totally direct, but go more off of Robert Bloch's 1959 book
so
as your blueprint. Oh, good. Yeah. Because that's something that you could do. It's a great book. And even though you see Norman in a certain way, that's not initially what he was. So I would go based off the book and allow somebody like, and honestly, I don't, this wouldn't happen, but somebody like a Lawrence Harvey would be great as the
book version.
The book version.
My money.
Even if you're not a Human Centipede guy, he gives a great performance in Human Centipede 2. So that would at least make it feel a little bit different. As far as legacy characters go, I don't think I would make the mistakes of Halloween and just beat the fucking characters to death.
We
I
don't
might
have any
actually-
really legacy characters, though. I mean,
I'm talking like just never-ending Laurie Strode. Like, I don't know if I just rehash the Cranes and everything. I think I might just do my own thing.
Yeah,
like,
the Cranes. We haven't seen the
take it-
Cranes in any sequels, though. At least.
Well, I know, but they did.
Well,
initially.
technically, they're sisters.
But
and
I
shit.
think I would just do my own thing, but use that as the blueprint. That would be what I would do. And I think you would still have I mean, again, he's less sympathetic in the book. He's not, quite the same Norman. So I think it would stand apart a little bit. That's what I hope they do with Hellraiser. I hope Hellraiser will stick a little, closer to Hellbound Heart, because it's hard to top the original. I hope they do. I hope I can come out of that and say, man, this is on par with the original. That's a high fucking bar. So yeah,
my gut says you won't.
Yeah, dude.
It's a high bar, but I don't like. People are bitching about the casting. I'm like, read the fucking book, guys. It's fine. It makes sense in this case. So
yeah, that's how I feel about it too. I really hope that Hellraiser stays true to the book for sure.
Yeah, it's a great book, great blueprint, and again, that's the only way I see it really working right now. You just had Bates Motel. I don't want to see them just retell the original story again. That's just they will at some point if enough time goes by, but go off the book.
Son of Psycho, make it happen.
Both of mine are a little problematic, so you don't have to tell me why, because I know. Okay, so the two and this
Wrong.
well, the first one, it's kind of sort of brought up what I'd like to see, and not exactly what Slasher said. I'd like to see Vince Vaughn get the opportunity with that gap of time to not do a shot-by-shot remake of Psycho 2, God no, but to see what they could do with that character that amount of time different, and maybe he could redeem it. I don't know, but I just think he's at the age now he could be
like in the
older
asylum
Norman.
type thing.
What do you mean?
Like when Norman gets locked up, like his
No,
time
when
in the asylum?
When he gets out, it's
Oh,
similar
okay.
setup to 2. I just think that's never been done, and they could go their own way. But I actually originally said, more than that. That's what But more than that, I wanted in like 5-10 more years, a Psycho or Bates Motel series, but we're kind of doing like the events of Psycho 2 spread out into a full series. I think that would have been a really cool concept. And it doesn't really change the legacy of the films. It doesn't do anything. I think television, like for this media, like for this, it's like such a, it's kind of harder to go back to a smaller story now.
Yeah.
And I don't want to remake. I mean, it has to be the book.
A direct sequel to the first film that's a series. That sounds awesome, actually.
Yeah. So, but that's where I am. But I do like Son of Psycho, and I agree though. The best choice is just to let it go.
No, I'm wrong now. I wanted to go the way of the offer. I just changed my whole thing.
Well, yeah, and that's a different future of the franchise. I mean, it is. It's different. I didn't even think of going that way.
Sure.
Have you seen that, Dan?
Say that again. I'm
The
sorry.
Offer? Have you seen it?
Not
show?
yet. Haven't gotten to it. I heard it's amazing.
Pugs is on his second run.
With even with something like Halloween, even the people that are more enthusiastic about it, you do benefit from letting people starve for a little bit. Don't just like they might reboot that shit again in 2 years. That would be so dumb. Wait like a decade, at least you get people.
Well, at least more time than the difference between the Resident Evil movie and TV show. Come on, give us more than like a month. 2 months, I don't know. I still got 1 episode left, but we'll save that for. All right, well, there's our future of the franchise. We got one more section, and that is the merchandise. Since Dan already showed his,
and I did too.
Why don't you guys show it real quick? Because I got to grab mine.
Bates Motel soap. Like if you get in a hotel, you can even see it straight from Comic-Con. You can't really see it's A&E, but it's pretty cool. And I got figures and stuff, but I'm not pulling it out. But this is really cool. It's one of my favorite things I got at that year.
There's, it's funny. I have a ton of horror merchandise, not a ton of Psycho merchandise, really. I'm sure there's plenty that I'm forgetting about, but yeah, I do think it's hard to see it really clearly, but they did a
That's
good
in good
job.
shape. There's no yellowing. Fuck yeah,
Yeah.
man.
This is peeling a little bit, but it's
Still
it's in
no
pretty
yellow.
good
That's
shape.
The yellow is
accomplishment.
the common
Yeah.
thing with those.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I had that figure at one point.
Yeah.
Before I sold off my collection.
I think I got this at Hastings.
Yeah,
I
those
believe.
yellow pretty quick. Or
Yeah.
after this time. All right. Well, here we go. I'll switch Dan. All right, here we go. What do I got? I actually had one thing I totally forgot I had, totally random when I was doing other stuff, so I'll do that first.
All right.
I forgot to
I'm
wipe the
excited
dust
to
off.
see what you pulled out of the treasure chest, Todd.
Right.
Psycho 4 laser disc,
Nice.
Still sealed?
still sealed.
Son of a bitch.
So,
I
yeah, I got it.
Todd's OCD right now. Are you sure it's in there?
It's all right. Well, someone it might be on eBay. Someone can tell me.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I don't know why I never
That's
opened.
really
I watched this probably because I had the tape and I just knew I had the
Yeah.
disc. So, and it wasn't any different, like format wise. I don't think it was widescreen, so wasn't in a rush to open. Okay, so there's the laser disc,
Nice.
a relic of the past. Now, technically, my next thing is not Psycho, but it is Psycho, and that is I don't buy toys anymore, so yeah, I had to get
Action
that one,
figures,
though.
I do. Oh, that's
that-
badass.
I
Nice.
would probably
The bloody version.
Yeah,
I-
I'll probably grab that at some point.
Well, you can't get them anymore, so you're going to pay a little over. The one
Yeah.
I'm on the chase for, if anyone has a lead on, there's a black and white version of this,
Okay.
and it's pretty fucking awesome.
I have a black and white Funko mystery mini of Hitchcock with a bird on the shoulder. It's pretty
Yeah.
sick. I gave it to my mom. She has it on her work desk.
All right, there we go. Here's the big one. This one's going to take a minute. All right. We have the Psycho Legacy Collection Blu-ray
Ooh.
set.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Damn.
Deluxe
German.
edition.
That's pretty fucking awesome.
Shiza.
Let's look at the back. It's got everything Psycho 1, 2, 3, 4, Psycho, the remake, or it actually has the German version too. The Legacy.
Is there a big
document-
difference?
No,
Oh.
I'm sorry. Then the Legacy Bates Motel TV movie, and then the documentary, 78.52. Now, here's the thing. The main thing about this, why I paid way too much money for this, but I won't sell it, is this was the first thing you could watch Psycho Uncut on, which we didn't even bring up early. I popped hard the first time I watched it. I was like, that's a new fucking scene. So we got extra blood in the uncut version, which is the first way you saw it. The German version, it's the same uncut version, which is where they really found the footage, except it uses the German title card. So it's the actual German version.
Oh, gotcha.
So, but that still had those missing scenes that, we didn't even talk about. The reason they're cut, right? Is because they cut it for TV at one point.
Oh
and-
yeah, because he brought it down to an hour because he's like, this sucks. And who was it? Elma that said, "Nah, dude, it's actually pretty good."
Yeah.
His wife
Wait.
was it his wife that
Wait.
said it for the first one.
No, I'm talking about because they edited it for TV. No, not that part. We're talking like the uncut version is Hitchcock's theatrical director's cut.
No, but at a certain point, he did want to just take it to TV because he thought it sucked. He was going to put it on the Hitchcock hour.
This has nothing to do with that. This is when it went to air.
also.
When it went to air on television, they had to cut some stuff out, and for some reason, none of that stuff ever got put in until this set, because they discovered the footage in the German version. So, and now, yes, it is the one on the 4K. It's on the other stuff now, so it's not exclusive to this box anymore.
How much does that box go for now? Probably.
I haven't looked it up because I
Yeah.
don't want to, because I don't want to be tempted.
Pretty insane, I would imagine.
And then we have
Maybe now it's easily available. It went down.
Then we have the Welcome to California Bates Motel.
That's cool.
It tells me my limited number
Nice.
out of 4,000.
It's fucking sick.
I did actually have two of these, but I ended up selling one because the first one came all dinged up. So, because Amazon Germany shipped like Amazon America. All right. And then we have. Nice.
Oh, that's fucking rad, dude.
Now, let's open it up. Well, we'll get to a page that isn't blank.
Does it say Samuels?
Now, the one thing that's a bummer, it's all in German.
Yeah.
Wow. Dan can translate.
My color out of space set is like that as well.
There we go. But we got some cool pictures in here. I mean, it is. Even though I can't read it, I like the look of the pictures.
Yeah, me too, man.
No, but it is nice. It's a nice hardcover book. You know.
Very
But sometimes
awesome.
on some of the sets, they throw in like the translated version too. Okay, what else we got in here? All right, here we go. That's a nice one.
No, that is cool.
And this one is actually in English too. I think it's supposed to be a reproduction.
Fuck yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Badass.
I've got cats. That wouldn't go over well.
Here we go. These are like little cards. I haven't taken these out. This is the first time I've really taken anything out other than the discs.
Like lobby cards? I can't see it show again?
Yeah. They're not necessarily
They're just cards.
They're just little, photo cards.
Yeah.
With the Psycho logo on the back. But I mean they're nice. I mean, yeah, that's like an iconic shot. I've seen that quite a few times. You got a great shot of the house.
That's rad.
Yeah. In the Mrs. Bates chair. Of course we have that one. She really, yeah. Norman.
Iconic.
I would have liked to have met Perkins and
he was at the very first weekend of horrors I was ever at. The footage of him talking in the documentary, I was in the crowd for.
Oh,
that's
nice.
fucking cool.
Yeah.
Jealous.
Yeah. Oh, and I didn't talk to him. I was too afraid to.
He might stab you.
Well, no, because I talked to Gunnar and I got he was the first autograph I ever got was Gunnar Hansen.
That's amazing.
But I wasn't because he wasn't wearing the mask. I don't mean like I was afraid of but it was like
it's intimidating.
Shit, that's him.
Yeah.
Dude, if I saw Robert Englund in Freddy makeup, I'd probably have a fucking stroke. Like I get it.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Okay. Since we're in merchandise, before I continue, is it a crime that we have not had a prop of Norma Bates yet? A life-size prop?
Yeah, why isn't Trick or Treat or somebody gone?
I'd even take one from the movie.
Nice shower set sort of thing would be kind of cool.
Bugs. You got to get it. I'll even take one from the movie. See, I was talking about a Norma one.
Oh, yeah, please.
There you go.
Yeah.
Talk about it. That's why I said I'd even take one from the. Yeah, I'm talking about Pugs.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Oh, that's awesome.
The gummy's kicking in.
Damn it. I forgot to do that.
Nice.
All right, yeah. We have the Bates Motel stationery that I'll never use, but I don't know. But you know what? If I was going to off myself, my suicide note would definitely be on this.
You got to do the math up top, though, first, dude. 4,000 minus 700. Okay, I got it.
Here's a cool one, too. We have both. We have the letter
that's
Sam
so
Loomis
sick.
wrote. Obviously, not the
Man.
That one's in English. We also have a German one.
Frame that and put it on the wall, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
There's so much in here.
It's awesome, man.
This one. Have another one. There's a few of them. All right, and then we get to. Oh, geez, now I need room. Apparently, we have some posters.
Oh, that's sick.
Cool. Dude, it's like magazine movie posters. I miss those.
Wow, that's awesome. And you got the taxidermy bird right above them.
Yeah, this needs a frame bad.
Yeah.
This I will absolutely display.
Easy.
Shit.
Easy. You're making me nervous. I don't know why.
I got all this stuff in the way. So okay. We got another one. I'll be more careful. Oh, damn, there's a.
Oh, is this a movie poster? Oh,
it is.
For which one?
Oh, that's sick.
This is like art I've never really seen too. I'm used to the one on the laser disc.
That's really, really cool art.
Reminds me of Maniac Cop.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
All right. You know what the next one is. So now I want frames for all of these. Damn it.
You should frame them.
Oh,
Oh,
dude,
hell yeah.
I love this art. I always have.
Awesome.
It's just the key and everything. I actually have the home video poster. Well, that's the only one there was for Psycho 4. It's a folded one, but and I actually had one for Psycho also. Actually, probably about this size.
Yeah, that's so sick, man.
Psycho
You get fucking amazing movie posters for every single one. That's great.
And then, well, we know which one's last. Then I'm assuming. Oh, this is a different one too.
Is it just a collage?
No, it's got the same like stuff, but it's different. It has Hitchcock on it because this image and that image are on the other on the main one. But yeah, it's just slightly different. But I do like that.
Yeah,
very, very cool.
Finally get to go through.
Those Germans know how to make a goddamn good set. I'll tell you what.
And then we have the films too. Yeah, there's that in this box too.
I like the Scarface motif. That's badass too.
So we got that.
Nice.
Okay, so this is the first one. We'll open this one first.
Oh, that's just the one.
Oh yeah,
that rocks.
You got all the docs and shit on the other. I always be careful with those, dude. I fucking came really close to ripping my color out of space one.
There's the gatefold. I'll flip it around and show the discs. Once I get them all in the right. All right. We have all the discs.
Great stuff. I love the key too. And the disc, that's great.
Hanging up the wall.
All right, we got one more set in here. And yeah, because this one's Psycho 1, 2, 3, and 4. So first 4.
And then you got the remake TV movie and the docs on the other one.
Yeah, then we have the German version. We have the which one's that? Oh yeah, we have the German version. We have the butthole version, Bates Motel, Psycho Legacy, and 7852. So there's the front.
Great stuff.
In the back. Well,
how much did that set run you?
I want to say when I got it, it was actually maybe 120.
Oh, that's not bad. That's about what I paid for my color.
And that was directly from Amazon.
And how many discs is it?
8.
Yeah, my color out of space is like 6, I think.
I have a Suspiria remake one too.
Oh,
we'll have to do one just for the hell of it.
Those two would be fun things to revisit. I haven't watched the remake since it came out, I think.
Yeah, I've watched it a few times.
I've seen it a bunch.
I know you adore it. I remember liking it too, but it was like I was in a drive-in and it was super dark at the last few scenes, so it was kind of hard to make out what was going on. So I need to.
No, it should have been easy to make out. If you can't see the movie.
So you got anything else, Todd? Do you want to pull me up, make me big?
Oh yeah.
So I just got a few little things. This is if you go back and watch our old videos, this actually used to be in the display back here, but little trading card I got from Fright Rags. Cool. They put like film facts when you get a shirt from them or whatever. So had this on display back there if you look at our older videos. And then I got this steel book, which was a part of a series of steel books that like showed like the setting of the movie. So I had to pick this up. Just I love the art with the Bates Motel and the shower drain.
Yeah, is that the 4K?
No, this is just a standard Blu-ray. This is the first copy I actually got when I started this collection that I got right now. And on the back we got the shower with the knife, and we all go a little mad sometimes. And then I got this is the 4K steelbook.
Yeah, there it is.
That's the art.
And this is awesome. I'm also gonna, just because I probably will never have another excuse to and it's relatable, I'll show off the other Alfred steelbooks I have too, because they're all a part of part of a series. Every one of these Alfred Steelbooks has his silhouette in the back with various art on the back. And yeah, I love this Steelbook. It's definitely one of my favorites. I'm hoping for the new Alfred set they're going to put out another.
Didn't they do Steelbooks or not yet?
Not yet. That's why I'm holding off on buying it, because I feel like they're probably going to do a Steelbook for every movie like they did with the last one. And then, of course, The Birds, which is my favorite Hitchcock movie.
Oh.
Yeah, I love the silhouette of the birds in the back. And then we got Vertigo, which I'm not really that big of a fan of, but very, very, very nice Steelbook. And Rear Window, which is one of my favorites from Hitchcock as well.
Fuck yeah.
Shocker, I'm a Dial M for Murder guy. I wonder why.
I haven't watched that one.
I'm a Frenzy guy.
I haven't watched that in a long time. I'm looking for it. Is that in the new current set or the next one?
Actually, I like Frenzy more than Psycho.
It's not in the next set coming out. I hope it gets a 4K.
It's out. The current set is out.
Yeah. It just dropped, I think, like a month ago or so, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no. It's got Saboteur, Shadow of Doubt, Trouble with Harry and Marnie. Oh, and Family Plot. I need that
Rope 4K too. I love Rope.
Rope's the most underrated for sure.
That's probably my favorite one. Other than Psycho. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So got anything else?
I do not. Anyone?
No, sir.
No.
All right, guys. Well, this was fun.
Yeah,
definitely a longer one.
Yeah. See, I told you, Dan, it was going to be a long one.
Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. And if you missed it, please be sure to check out our Halloween Ends reaction video, our second Monsters trailer reaction for those of you who weren't here earlier, and all of our upcoming shows. We got a lot coming, a lot of reviews, a lot of big ones coming in the next week or two. So stay tuned to the channel. Also, patreon.com/fleshwoundfeatures. It all starts at just $1 and you get a lot of bonus content. So on that note,
time to check out.
Yeah, time to check out. Good night.
Watch the guitar.